Yeah. Hi, everyone, and welcome to the much-awaited game season 3 of Fundaesliga. And this is the first game week, and as we've had tradition before, we're going to do a bit of a preview of the players and the draw and how it might look like, and even how maybe the tournament will play out this time. So joining me today, we have Vikas Plakkot, who's one of the newer writers, Abhinav Dasgupta, Sander Vander Heyden, and Rahul Kottalgi. And I'm Sreshth, and today all of you will be joining us as we go through this small little journey. These videos often tend to be quite long, and this time we have even more players than before. So we'll be crisp and concise, but we'll be focusing a lot on who the newer players are and who the important players are in quizzing in India right now and quizzing in Asia. Those who have made an impact, we want to give all of them a shout out as well. And each of the panelists today will bring in a different aspect of quizzing. They'll tell us about these players in unique manners. So watch out for that, and hopefully you guys enjoy what we bring to you. So without wasting any more time, I just want to quickly ask Vikas. Vikas, what sort of question writing are you going to bring in this season as one of our newer journalists?
Well, I hope to attract as many of the Gen Z sort of topics as much as possible as one of sort of the younger people in the group. So cover a lot of stuff around culture, food and stuff like that. And that's what excites me the most. So yeah, hopefully people will enjoy those questions and have a good time with it.
I think you and Hari will also join us. I'm sure it will be an extremely valuable addition to our team. So thank you, Vikas, for joining us. Hi, Abhinav, how are you doing? How have you enjoyed the last 2 seasons of question writing? And do you miss participating?
No, I think I've largely enjoyed question writing, and even a little bit of FOMO that I was having in terms of participating, I made up for that by playing each of the friendlies very, very religiously, right? So I got my own taste of participating in Mimirs, and yeah, I'm actually not bad. So I loved it.
That's lovely. Hi, Sander. Glad to have you. Sander's been part of our journey right from the start. He's written a lot of questions for us, read a lot of games, always had valuable input. So thanks for that, Sander. Sander, what sort of flavors do you think your question writing brings into our FLQL?
I think my flavors will be that I'll ask a bit more European questions probably than usually happens in Indian quiz leagues. I think I think I've got a bit of a different question writing style as well. So yeah, a different flavor, as you said. It's fresh. Yeah.
As a follow-up to that, Sander, you've read a lot of games in Fundaesliga. What have you thought of the quality of quizzers in India?
I've been very impressed by the quality of the quizzes in India. I think there's a lot of very good quizzes. Yeah, even in the lower tiers, there's still a lot of good quizzes. So I think, yeah, in general, the general level of quizzing in India is very high, I'd say. So very well done.
And watch out for Sander's India quads this season. That's how you'll figure out.
So I waited for the last person as Rahul. Last, definitely not the least. He's one of the co-founders of Fundaesliga Quiz League, but Rahul's he prefers being on the back room than in the front. He's put me out to do all the social media posting, so you may not hear much from him. But Rahul is our editor-in-chief. Hi, Rahul, for joining us. And are you excited for this season? Now, what can we expect different this season?
Oh, looks like we've lost Rahul.
Rahul's so excited he's frozen.
Yeah, Rahul, we lost you for a bit. Yes.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, thanks, Shreyas. So season 3, I think, will be, I mean, it's a cliched phrase, but I would like to say it's going to be better and better than the first 2 seasons. Not only are we going to have more players, we've also kind of brought in more quiz writers and, giving them a kind of platform to share their knowledge and their question writing skills with the world. I think what Fundaesliga primarily aims to do is to have a platform where Indian quizzers can, match their wits and knowledge against the best in the world. And so far, I think they've stood in pretty good stead. So hopefully that will also continue, something that we can look forward to this season.
Thanks, Rahul. And all of you at the end of the week, when you guys enjoy all this analysis, it's brought to you by Rahul's hard work behind the scenes. So if you like it, give Rahul a shout out for that. So without wasting any more time, guys, we will move on to the draw. What we saw this season is a lot of new players joining in. Some players took a bit of break and some players have joined in. I would like to say that in the rest of India right now, maybe in the world, the Omicron is taking a big role. And we hope that this season of the next few months gives you a chance to stay at home and quiz from the comfort of your home and the safety of your home. So really excited for all of that. About game week 1, we've mentioned elsewhere, but every game has 1 seeded player and 3 unseeded players. How did we come up with the seeds? Well, you use some really quote-unquote complex algorithms to reach there. We've taken your FLQL results, your results from other leagues. We've taken your results from WQC and all these places and sort of done seeds. So if you are seeded, well, I don't know what to say. Maybe congratulations. If you're not seeded, we are sorry. There's so many good quizzes. We just could not fit all you great quizzes into 96 seats. So that's just a small thing. Don't worry about it. It really doesn't matter. So without wasting any more time, let's start with the draw. Match 1, we have Gilles Bourque. He's from Canada. In fact, he happens to be my OQL UK teammate. So welcome, Gilles. He's from the French-speaking part of Canada. Syed Shakil Imdad, Aaron Mohan, and Vinod Hariharan. Aaron has been a consistently top performer in FLQL, and many of you would know that his team Syndicate not only were nominated for the World Quiz Awards as one of the international teams of the year, but they also won the Asian Quiz League, the season 2. Did not allow our team to defend the title, but that's fun of the day. DG, what would you like to tell us about any of them?
Vinod Hariharan, excellent quizzer. Quizzed a little bit with him in the friendlies and so on. Quite good and absolutely everything. I think pretty much an all-round gem quizzer, good gem quizzer.
Cool. I'll just request you to be a little louder as we move on to the match number 2. We have Utkarsh Rohela, Abhimanyu Bhadoria, Shafiq S, and Justin Wong. Rahul, you must have read a few games for these people. You might know a few of them. Give me a little roundup of how this game looks like.
Yeah, not only have I read a few games where some of these players have played, I've also played a few friendlies against Abhimanyu, who's, I think, justified his positioning as a seed over there in our second game. He's also been, fairly strong in media and in sports, which is a good combination of knowledge to have. So yeah, this should be a good game as well.
Thank you. Sander, would you know anything about Justin? He's one of our newer players.
Yeah, I think Justin is mostly good at highbrow. He'll know a lot about geography and history. I'm not so sure he's good in the lowbrow stuff, but I think he might play very well. I wouldn't count him out for winning this one, actually. He's a very good quizzer. So,
and I think he's also in the WQC. He's done a very good performance. I think the score's in the 80s, if I don't mistaken.
Yeah, 86, something like that, I think.
Utkarsh is one of our newer players. Hi, Utkarsh. Thanks for joining us. We want to learn a lot more about you. I wonder if, DG, you know much about Utkarsh.
Not too much.
All right, we'll find out. I'm sure in season 4's intro, we'll know a lot about Utkarsh. Let's move to game number 3. We have Sarang Satish, Raina Shruti, Saurav Das, and Achyut Sanjay. Well, Sarang and Raina join us again for season 2. They played in season 1 and they probably enjoyed a lot. Saurav is based out of the UK and this is his 3rd season in a row. Started off as a casual quizzer, but it's very lovely to see casual quizzers returning for season after season. Rahul, Achyut was a finalist last season, wasn't he? Do you have any amazing stats for us about Achyut?
I have some amazingly consistent stats. Not only has he been in the top tiers of last 2 seasons running, but across highbrow and lowbrow, he's been more or less excellent. If I look at his numbers last season across entertainment, science, And media, sports, they've all been quite high. So the range of knowledge is there, and I can seriously expect him to be in the top tiers once again.
And it's no fluke reaching the grand final against in such a good field of quizzers in season 2. So that's that for game 3. Game 4, we move to Rohit Gupta, Sukrut Nilutla, Arpita Shetty, and Aditya Gadre. Vikas, would you know much about any of these players? I know DG knows a lot, but Vikas, would you like to fill me in on a few?
I don't know too much about them, but of course, Aditya is someone everyone of us probably knows really well, really good at sports and very strong quizzer, one of the key members of Board Club, Quiz Club as well. So, and consistently been in the top half of the table, very top of the table in FLQL. So yeah, some definitely justified in terms of the seeding. And Arpita obviously played the last season. In her own words, she says that she finished in one of the bottom tiers, but made it to the semi-finals, which she's really proud of. So I'm pretty sure she'll probably be on her way up this particular season. Don't know too much about the rest. So
Sukrut's been a very top college quiz in the IITs while growing up, and now he's, I think, reduced his quizzing, but he still quizzes a lot. Rohit, I think, joins us after a long, has joined back quizzing after a long time, and really looking forward to see how Rohit does in this. Good luck to all players. Match number 5, we have Rajiv De Silva, Vikram Shah, Elsa Watson, and Parth Bhatia. Parth is currently in the US from Delhi. Excellent school quizzer. He loves his chess. Loves his stuff like fencing and stuff. So it's a very, very unique knowledge base he has. Vikram has been joining us for the last 2 seasons, and he's been doing consistently well. I've seen him beat a lot of so-called better quizzers on his day. And DG, you know a bit about Rajiv, don't you?
Yes, quizzer from Goa, and very, very good in terms of business, entertainment. I know he's won Crucible quite a few times. Back in the day, he used to be pretty much like the Goa champion practically every year and make it to the national finals. So, and generally a great guy to quiz with. So this match I can assure you it'll be played in like tremendous spirit, that's for sure.
And the funny thing is, Rajiv would probably have been the seed in this game, but we have a new signee this time in Elsa Watson. And I think Elsa represented Scotland and won the IQA organized Quizzing World Cup, if I remember correctly, Scotland A. So she comes with that pedigree, and I think she has written a bit about herself. DG, would you know what she wrote? I think she's extremely good in a lot of competitions.
Yeah, she says mid-table mimers is what I think she calls herself, though I'm sure it will be far better than that. She says multiple genre medalist, particularly lifestyle and entertainment and quizzing Grand Prix events. So you're welcome, Elsa. I think it's great to have a quizzer of your caliber with us.
Thank you. Let's move on to match number 6, and we have Akshay Gurumurthy, Dhruv Sharma, Dvipo Biti Brahma, and Sreshth Shah. So good to see ladies in quizzing, girls in quizzing, women in quizzing, Dipopiti and Shreyashi. Thank you for keeping that flag flying high. It's so important. Shreyashi has been consistently joining us, and she has her core in the arts or culture, as we like to call it. But she's quite an all-round quizzer. Dipopiti, I think, is a professor out of western part of India. And thanks for joining us the first time. Rahul, I would like to ask you about Akshay. He's probably one of our youngest seeds, isn't he? I think he's still in college, undergraduate.
Yeah, and the surprising thing about this game is that Dhruv is not the seeded one. Just shows how strong this particular game is going to be potentially. Yeah, I think Akshay is a bright young quizzer. He's phenomenally strong in sports and also in science. So expect a very strong game, because I know even Dhruv is particularly strong in science and some other topics. So yeah, a very unexpected seed, but no doubt it's going to be a very tough game. Yeah.
Thanks, Rahul. Let's move on to match number 7, and we have Roko Surak. Apologies if I could not get your pronunciation right. I really hope to meet you on Zoom someday. Alagar Sami, AP, Utkarsh Rastogi, and Jayant Mahadevan. Alagar, well, what do we say? He comes with a ton of experience. Last season was his first season of Mimir, so it might have taken him a bit of time to warm up to the format and the proceedings of the competition. But his depth in quizzing experience definitely makes him the seed. Interestingly, Roko is from Croatia, so we add a new country to the FLQL map. So welcome, Roko. Sander, has Roko taken part in the WQC by any chance?
He has taken part in Mimi as well, I think. And I know he likes writing a lot of questions himself. So I think he's pretty good. He knows a bit about everything. He'll know some history for sure. Some sports as well. A bit of everything. So yeah, he might be good for this.
And anything about Utkarsh or Jayant that we may know? Abhinav, I think both might be playing as joining for the first time. I think Jayant for sure is. I'm not sure about Utkarsh, but
Jayant is for the first time, and he says that he used to quiz in school and to some extent in college, but haven't been actively quizzing for the past decade or so, except for the occasional session at the Karnataka Quizzing Association. So I think that's incredible what FLQL has been able to do to get a lot of people who are actually off quizzing back into the fold. So I think Jayant is probably one of the latest of such examples. So welcome back on board, Jayant. It'd be lovely to have you quiz again with us.
Awesome. Match number 8, we have Dibyo Haldar, Alok Mohan, CR, and Vinay Sridhar. It's very interesting. I think at least 2 or 3 of them could potentially have been the seed, but I think Alok Mohan's consistency in season 2 has made him the seed. He's from the UAE. He's very strong in films, of course. A little bit about Dibyo. He is all based outside India, from Singapore. And he has done a lot of writing under his belt as one of the writers for the 2nd season of Asian Quiz League. He participates heavily as well. So welcome to all of you. Rahul, CR, on and off quizzer, but it was good to see him do well in season 2. What can you expect from CR in season 3?
CR, one of the good things is that he was consistent across most of the topics. And any weaknesses or any other kind of defeats are probably down to his inexperience with the format. But if he can keep up this consistency, I think he can be a pretty formidable force in the coming season.
All right, we'll move on to match number 9. And this we have Ram Prasad Devaraj, Amit De, Sharan Bains, and Rishi. Before we come to Vikas to learn a bit about Ram Prasad and Sharan, Sander, you've read for sure a lot of games for Amit, right? He takes part in a lot of leagues around the world.
Yeah. Amit is also in Division 1 in OQL UK. I believe he plays with Pat Gibson in OQL UK. Amit likes to play a lot of the friendlies. I think he's a really good quizzer, could get far. He doesn't really have a strong subject. He does know a lot of things about different things, so a bit about sports, something about geography. Yeah, I think he's a real threat to the first, tier 1 possibly.
Yeah, he had a good time, a good run last time, just fell off the wayside a bit towards the end. Vikas, about the new players perhaps?
All of them seem to be new. None of them were in the last season, so I guess we'll get to know more about them as we go through the season. They haven't given us too much about them, so I guess we'll learn and we'll be ready for season 4 about how they play out.
Yeah, Rishi Raj, I know him really well, very good in pop culture, science, stuff like science fiction. He's now also a science fiction writer, stuff like that. So welcome back to all of you. Amit, clearly the favorite here. But remember, guys, for every game, there are 2 winners. So there's 1 seed, but remember always there are 2 spots for winners. So that's that. Now we move to match number 10. We have Michael Mikal Duffy, Anne Gavagan, Taha Hussain, and Ananya Deb. Rahul, a little bit about Ananya. Underwhelming season 2, considering he's one of the greats of quizzing in India. He's a Hall of Famer from the Bombay Quiz Club. What did you sort of summarize his season as last season?
Yeah, I think considering his experience and his general, merits as a quizzer, I think he's had a fairly disappointing season last time around, but he was still really strong with history, which is to be expected. History, he was phenomenal with 25 points through the season, as well as sports, where he got about 23 points. So it's just a matter of, working on the other topics a little bit and getting a little more comfortable with the whole meme format. And I think he can, reach those heights which are expected from a quizzer of that caliber.
We have two new players. I think maybe three of them are new. But Sander, would you know much about Michael or Mikal and Anne? And
I know Anne is one of the organizers of Quiz League of London, which is a big league in the UK. She organizes the friendlies and things like that. So she likes quizzing. She does a lot of quizzing. I also play friendlies with her on OQL USA on each Monday. So she's a good quizzer and a very nice quizzer. I look forward to see how she'll do it in this league. Michael is from the US. He says he's mostly a pub quizzer, but he's also in the quarterfinals of the current season of Mimi as well. So he's very good, I'd say. So I think this might be a very close match. We'll see. But this is going to be a very good match. I wouldn't say Ananya is going to win this easily, but we'll see. You never know. Great match for sure.
Before we move to match number 11, we welcome Hari, one of our newer writers, into the stream as well. Hi, Hari. We had asked Vikas before we did the draws about what his favorite sort of flavors of quizzing are. What can we expect from his sort of pen? What can we expect? What would you like to explore topics in terms of question writing, or what's your sort of favorite topics to quiz others about?
My favorite topics to quiz others about is, I guess, the areas I'm kind of inclined towards, literature, science, those kind of things. But one of the aims I had in, joining this side of the fence was that I could try and explore the other topics, because the only way I learn is by researching and writing questions. So I didn't want to explore some of the so-called lowbrow topics and during this session, but mostly I prefer to ask questions about science, literature, those kind of things.
Thanks, Hari. Welcome to the stream. We'll move to match number 11 now, and match number 11 has Swapnil Sinha, Anup Kumar, Aniket Khasgiwale, and Diksha Vasudevan. Swapnil is from IIT Delhi, or formerly from IIT Delhi. I think he's probably graduated. He played season 1, left us in season 2, maybe for work commitments. He's back. So welcome back, Swapnil. Anup and Diksha, probably new players. Again, thanks, Diksha. We got to give shout out to whenever we see women quizzers from India participating in quizzing. We need much more of that. Rahul, little bit about Aniket's consistency. I think he's been tier 1 or 2 all times. And then I'll come to Abhinav for a little bit about Diksha.
Yeah, that's right, Sreshth. I think he was in the second or third tier in the first season, but then wildly improved and got to tier 1, which is roughly close to his quizzing skills. He's of course phenomenal in sports. I think last season he got more than 25 points overall over the entire round robin season. But in addition to that, he was also really good in history, culture, and entertainment. So another strong showing. He could well be in the top tiers once again.
Did anything from your side about the rest at all, if any? I'm sure.
No, not too much we know. I believe Diksha's from Hyderabad, first timer to FLQL and Open Shield, put up a good show. Khasgi, of course, remains the favorite, but yeah, you never know what surprises the game may throw up.
Yeah, I think Swapnil on his day can beat the best also. So match number 12, we have Devesh Vashishta, Anshuman Pal, Sandeep Sen, and Shivani Rakesh. It's an interesting one, I'll tell you that. Anshuman is our new player this season. And so for a new player to be a seeded player, it means you need to come with a lot of quizzing pedigree. And nobody better than me to say that, because Anshuman literally humiliated me in school quizzes while growing up in Calcutta. He was one of the prodigies from South Point High School, a little bit older than me while I was in La Martiniere, and it was terror to see Anshuman Pal turn up at a quiz. And we used to play for second place once he turned up. So it's good to see him back into quizzing. I think the online space allows you to do that. Devesh, Shivani are both quite young quizzers. Shivani has been very enthusiastic last season, read a lot of games for us. And Sandeep is joining us for the first time. So we wish to know more about the rest of you. Good luck for the match. Match number
Sandeep, by the way, has been an old-timer at BQC, fantastic quizzer, and one of the most well-read people I've ever met in quizzing. So, in terms of literature, science, and all of that, basically whatever Hari is going to set, Sandeep's going to be a big favorite.
If I'm not mistaken, is he formerly part of the TNT Tiers team from Kolkata? So that's one of the most revered teams of yore, if I may just say that, from Kolkata. So good to see Sandeep return to quizzing. Match number 13, we have Anu Kashyap, Sumit Kumar, Shreyas Padmanabhan, and Krishnan Shetty. Krishnan for the first time. Sumit's played us twice, 2 seasons. Good to see Sumit back again. I think Shreyas joins us for the new time as well. But I'm most excited to introduce Anu Kashyap, who's one of the brightest young quizzers globally. And Sandy, you might know a lot about him. I think he's in the tier 1 of international culture competitions and so on.
Yeah, I think he's very good. He lives in the US, I believe, but he knows a lot of highbrow stuff. But he always also surprises me sometimes with the things, about the more local stuff. He knows a bit about music and stuff like that as well. But yeah, on history and geography, he's amazing. I think he might be in the top 10 or top 20 in the world on history, probably. He's very good. So yeah, I think he's a big candidate for tier 1, I'd say. So yeah, but we'll see. We always have to play for it, but he's one of my favorites to get far in this competition. Yeah.
Thanks, Sandhu. So, match number 14 coming up. Sujit Ray, Siddhant Rao, Kelly Rabin, and Anush Nair. Siddhant and Anush are more like from my age group, if I like to call it. Siddhant and I were competitors in college quizzing, so he's very much into quizzing. Anush, I think, came rank 27 or 28, which as someone who is just 29, 30 years old, is an excellent performance in Fundaesliga considering the competition in here. He's very strong in art as well. Sujit, casual quizzer, joined us in season 2. Glad to see you in season 3. Kelly joins us for the first time. I think she's from the US. Abhinav, would you know much about her from her introduction, by any chance?
Yeah, Kelly's played OQL in the US, played the International Culture Challenge, plays in the Learned League and consistently in the A and B rundles. As someone who's forever been in C, I know how difficult getting into A and B is. So she is very, very good, I'm sure.
That's great. Anush, on the virtue of his season 2 performance, is the seed here. Match 15, we have Mahindra Mohan Das, Chaitanya Hegde, Anushtup Datta, and Disha Rawal. Disha, when I was in Delhi, she was a student quizzer out of maybe LSR. And Chaitanya joins for the first time. Hari, let's bring you into this chat. Anushtup Datta is clearly the favorite. How far do you think you see him go in this competition? He's surely one of the candidates for tier 1, right?
Oh yeah. Anushtup, he's consistently been one of the best quizzes in India, and I see him in tier 1 easily. I mean, it'll take a few missteps for him to get knocked out of that, but yeah, he's clearly top seed here and will make it to tier 1. I'm pretty sure of that.
Rahul, Anushtup, what are his strengths? I'm sure it's a bit of media, right? But I'm sure he's like a great all-round quizzer, isn't he?
He is a great all-round quizzer. In fact, I would not go around telling you what his strengths are, but there were 2 weaknesses last season, sports and entertainment. I think those are the 2 areas where he's a little wanting. Otherwise, as Hari said, he's a legend of quizzing. If those weaknesses are slightly padded, there's no reason he's not going to be in tier 1 once again.
And just to clarify to the rest, according to WQC, films is not part of entertainment, it's part of media. So entertainment is music and TV shows and stuff like that. So just worth a clarification there. Match 16 coming up, Roshit Mohan, Shashank Tyagi, Apratim Mukhopadhyay, and Vineet Sasidharan. Vineet's been quizzing a lot online and offline, of course, but he's been consistently quizzing with his team. And on his day, Vineet can beat literally everyone. So good to see you back, Vineet. Shashank, one of our more enthusiastic players, doing a lot for quizzing online, writes a lot of questions, just the kind of attitude we need in quizzing from a lot of people, willing to help everyone out, willing to write questions and so on. So Shashank, thanks for joining us again. DG, would you know Roshit? I think he's from Delhi, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he is in Delhi now, but I've quizzed a lot with him during his Mumbai days at BQC. Fantastic guy to quiz with. Quite a good all-around gen quizzer, entertainment, movies overall, history as well. So great to have Roshit back into quizzing. I know he was on a bit of a hiatus, so one of our returning players this season. So really, really glad to have him here.
That's nice. And I'll move to Hari for Apratim. There's one reason for that. Hari, you've seen Apratim as an 18-year-old just out of school who got into quizzing as an open quizzing while we used to go to Kutub Quizzers or Fundaesliga. And now he's a seeded player. He's 28, my age, and being a seeded player is no easy feat in FLQL considering the competition we have. So what's your sort of summary of Apratim?
I remember him from, yeah, like you said, his younger days, and he was a strong player even then. Some things, I mean, some of the live quizzes I attended, I was surprised by some of the questions he got, hit right out of the park. So, and I haven't played him in the FLQL, but I can see from the results that he's been going from strength to strength. So, yeah, he's clearly on the rise.
But I'll tell you, this game is anyone's game, to be honest with you, and depends on how the questions fall or what quads turn up. This result, you don't know who's going to come fourth, who's going to come first. So it's one of those good games, definitely a viewer's favorite. We'll try to record this if we can. Match 17 coming up, Jeffrey Seguritan, Murthy MVR, Anukriti Rai, and Arun Hiregange. I just want to say Murthy came very close to be a seeded player, but just missed out because there's so many great players. Anukriti joins, she studied in Delhi, the college quizzer. She's quizzing on and off, but very glad to see Anukriti back for season 3 after season 1. Rahul, you must be knowing Arun really well. Do you think his tier performances have reflected his potential or caliber as a quizzer? He's one of the best in India, isn't he?
He's definitely one of the best, but I think when it comes to FLQL, he's had some good starts. I remember one time in the first, in the FLQL, he's not been as good as he could be. I mean, he was leading, I remember, the very first season of FLQL for a while, but then kind of dropped off. I think that's kind of a weakness that needs to be filled in. But yeah, overall, he's one of the best. Absolutely brilliant science quizzer, great at films and media as well. So you can see him rise up the standings just a little bit if some of those weaknesses are covered.
Sander Jeffrey is one of our newer players. I think he's from the USA. Would you know anything about him by any chance?
I know he plays in ICC as well. He's in tier 12, I believe. He's been doing pretty well there. Had some bad luck with some draws as well, with difficult draws in the beginning of the season. But yeah, I'd say it's a bit more highbrow, but and he's a nice guy as well. I'd love to read for him one day. So yeah, but we'll see because But yeah,
match number 18, we have Julius Caesar Dizon, Parikshit Pegu, Siddharth Raman, and Ashwin Kumar. Julius joins us from the Philippines, if I'm not mistaken. He's consistent quizzer all around in all sorts of competitions going around globally. Parikshit joins for the first time. Siddharth, hi, welcome back. And Ashwin joins us from France. A late entry. Ashwin had to be cajoled into playing season 3. So welcome, Ashwin. Good luck for this season. We move to match number 19. We have Kevin Parekh, Ismail Mohammed, Ashwath Venkataraman, and Sumukh Herlekar. Sumukh's been joining us every season. That's much appreciated. Sumukh even joined us from a holiday in Kashmir once. So he's taken out time from his holidays to play with us. That's appreciated. Kevin joins for the first time. Kevin, welcome to the competition. I think Ismail joins for the first time as well. And Ashwath, I think his nickname is Cody. Ashwath, he's done extremely well last season, one of the top players. So that's that. Let's see how this game goes. We move to match number 20, and we have Ian Fennell, Atul Matthew, Yagya Chaudhary, and Ajinkya Matsavar. Hari, Atul and you have some connection, right?
Yeah. We've teamed together and we're from Kerala, so that's.
So what? I mean, he's a seeded player here. You're definitely not surprised seeing him as a seed, is it?
Yeah, and I mean, I haven't played much of them. From what I remember, he's a sports god, right? He used to knock all the sports questions out of the park. So, but yeah, great guy, great all-round guy. Fun.
Ajinkya joins us from Maharashtra. I'm not sure if it's Mumbai or just outside Mumbai. Very enthusiastic. Thanks for joining us. Yagya's playing the first time, remember, from a Delhi college days. So welcome, Yagya, to the competition. Hope you have fun. Ian is one of our new players, I believe he's from the UK. DG, would you know anything about him? Or maybe Vikas might.
Not too much because
No, not much. I haven't come against him in any of the other leagues, so don't know much.
We'll find out more about Ian, but thank you for joining us this time. Match 21 coming up. Balaji Srinivasan, Aditi Chatterjee, Niyam Joshi, and Arun TP. Vikas, Aditi, Niyam, Arun, I mean, they keep quizzing all the time. How would you summarize those three players for us?
Yeah, I mean, all of them sort of very good quizzers. This is going to be quite an interesting game. I've come up against Aditi in a Mcbride game, was really good with culture stuff, was knocking wines and food out of the park. She's based in Switzerland, if I'm right. Come up against Niyam as well. Again, an excellent quizzer, on and off. Obviously, finished sort of mid to lower tiers, but can be good on his day. I don't know too much about Arun as such.
Arun, the strong quiz, I know him from his college days. But I was going to wait to go to Hari about Balaji. Hari, Balaji is the seeded player here. He had a good season too, and he had an excellent World Quizzing Championship score. I don't remember his exact score, but definitely top 100 if I remember correctly. What is so good about Balaji's quizzing style?
Balaji, okay, just to give some background, he's been one of the early members of the Bay Area Quiz Club, which is the Indian kind of quiz fraternity in San Francisco and surrounding areas. I think Mcbride is also part of that. And he's been conducting some of the annual quizzes they have. His strengths are, again, he's very much highbrow oriented, and he's really good at things like films and all that. So this should be interesting. I think, yeah, his weaknesses would be sports and the lowbrow kind of things. But yeah, he's overall a very strong player.
Vikas, just to correct you, Aditi is from the Netherlands, and she's a quiz power duo. Her husband is also a quizzer. We'll come to him when we do. Let's move to match 22. Sanveer Singh Puri, Aritra Mustafi, Anshul Naseri, and Ben Rothenberg. Anshul is a very strong player, by the way. He can beat any of these players on this day for sure, or anybody else. Consistent performer. Some bad days, some day, but pretty good. Aritra is very good in sports. He's very young as well. And Sanveer is a very new joining into quizzing. But in this lockdown period, the last 1 year, Sanveer's quizzing skills have improved as he's faced more and more questions. And he's a very enthusiastic quizzer. So I'm very happy to see Sanveer return again for season number 3. Ben Rothenberg, as a journalist myself, I know that he's a very big tennis journalist from the USA. He covers all the Grand Slams, so you definitely he will not miss any tennis questions going around, but he's strong in other aspects as well. Sander, am I right about that?
Yeah. His tennis is obviously one of his strongest points, but he might be a bit more lowbrow possibly, but I definitely think he deserves to be a seed. There's a lot of strong Americans at the moment, and he's definitely one of them. So yeah, it'll be good to see how he scores.
Match 23, we have Dibyendu Mishra, Shubhadeep Sarkar, Brandon Blackwell, and Christian Kwamso. I'm so sorry if I get your pronunciation wrong. Vikas, would you know anything about any of them?
I don't as much, but I'm guessing DG does.
Maybe. Shubhadeep, I know. He's a very young quizzer from Calcutta. High on potential. He knows a lot of stuff. He might beat anyone. Rahul, have you faced Brandon in any competition? I know that he used to be on a university challenge. He's done very well there. He's very good at WQC. Any competition he comes, he puts fear in the mind of the opponents. Would you know much about him?
Not much. I think I've faced off against him once in a team competition a little while back. He's definitely a formidable quizzer. In addition to that, I mean, his overall reputation precedes him in any case. So we know that his being a senior is justified, despite this being his first experience of FL here. So this is something to look forward to, how far he will go. In fact, this is something I'm quite excited about, some of these new joinees, how far they will go. And I think Brandon is quite a strong favorite for the tier 1, tier 2.
I think he had an excellent WQC score, yes, to be honest. I just don't remember the score. Sander, would you know anything about Christian? Seeing him for the first time.
Christian is Norwegian, He's doing very well in Mime as well at the moment. He's through to the quarterfinals as well. He just won this week. His game this week. All right for him. He beat a few very good quizzes. Like most Norwegians who quiz, he's very good. He knows a lot of things about sports and also history. Christian might go very far. Coming back to Brandon though, I know you should, if you're ever able, watch his University Challenge games, because he's probably one of the best participants in University Challenge ever. He was very impressive. So if he's kept going like this, Brandon might be one of the favorites this competition, seriously. But both non-Indians are very good. So this is going to be one hell of a game. That's what I'm saying.
Thanks.
So we'll see.
Yeah, match 24, we have Edward Stan, Harman Singh, Caleb Liu, and Arun Prasad. Arun's a very experienced quizzer out of South India. Bangalore, Chennai might shuffle up between both. So thanks for playing again, Arun. Harman, Vikas, you know Harman a little well?
Yeah, quite well. We're actually teammates at AQL, so and been setting quizzes together. Harman's very, very good at entertainment, media topics as well as literature. Stuff he's good at, he can get like very good and very in depth and can beat any top quizzer on his day. Of course, Caleb is a seeded player for I guess the right reasons. He's one of the setters behind AQL, Mastermind, University Challenge, all of jazz under his repertoire. So this is going to be quite an interesting game as well. Don't know much about Edward Stan. I'll pass it on to Sander maybe.
I think Edward is from one of our newer countries. I just don't remember which one it is.
He's from Romania.
Oh, yeah.
He's from Romania. He's a regular quizzer in all kinds of quizzes in Mime as well, in ICC as well, I think. He likes a lot of quizzes. And we'll see how he does here, but he might surprise.
Match 25, we have Chandrakant Nair, Vinayak Singh Bhadoria, Kuldeep Chandi, and Jayanti Martins. I think Kuldeep joins us for the first time. So welcome to the competition, Kuldeep. Vinayak was the second time. He's part of the sort of a Brothers of Destruction. His brother takes part as well in the competition, Raghav. So welcome back, Vinayak. Jayanti Martins is from the US. She might originally be from India. She does a lot of quizzing. She's always quizzing. A great sort of attitude to quizzing, which is exactly what we love to see. That's them. And Rahul, you know Chandrakant as much. I mean, I think Hari knows the most, but Rahul will come to you. Chandrakant, underwhelming, you would say, considering, I mean, he's a landmark winner. He wins KQA team competitions. What's been up in FLQL?
I think, yes, in terms of his overall quizzing experience, you would expect a much higher ranking for him. But I think he's been slightly undermined by some bad luck and some the odd poor result, pushing you down just that little bit, especially in a high voltage competition like we have in the FLQL. But having said that, he is one of those quizzers who doesn't have any weaknesses. I think he's, because of the sheer volume of questions he sets, he has a wide range of interest in any case. You can always expect, like a sudden jump this season from him. Absolutely.
I think on his day he can beat anyone, and that's most important. I know Hari, you know him quite well, but for sake of time, we'll move on to the next game. Match 26, Gautam Dambe Kodi, Charlie Fritz, Abhijit Anand, and Akshat Jain. Hari, you know Akshat? I think he's in the US as well.
I mean, I've played with him and against him, but no, I don't really know him that well. So
he's taken part in both seasons of FLQL. So thanks for joining us again, Akshat. Abhijit has done that as well. And Abhijit has referred a lot of quizzers to the FLQL competition. So thank you for that, Abhijit. Glad you like the product. Gautam's joined us the first time. Vikas, anything about Gautam in his sign-up form that we might be interested in knowing?
Nothing. He's literally left it blank. So I guess we'll also figure out as he fills out the canvas this year.
Charlie Fritz was a late entrant, and we had to, because there are so many good players, it's hard to know who to seed, who not to seed. But one of our co-founders, Arjun, was like, you have to seed Charlie Fritz. He's not here. So I don't know why he thinks that, but maybe Sander can tell us more.
he's been quite a few times on television. He's played on Jeopardy, done very well on Jeopardy. He's very good on Quiz Bowl. Yeah, I think Arjun is right to say he should be received. He's going to be very difficult to beat. Yeah, I think, yeah, I was very impressed by him on Jeopardy. So, yeah, I think maybe a bit more, a bit of both.
We'll find out.
Yeah.
Match 27, we have Shubhaditya Basu, Bishwayan Bhattacharjee, Gaurav Kharbanda, and Dave Mcbride. Gaurav, I think he's now across the pond in the US, but he's a long-time quiz out of India. Gaurav has joined us for both seasons. Season 1, the thing is, it was since a new concept, we didn't know if casual quizzers would turn up, and quizzers like Gaurav turned up and they've stuck on to the competition. So good to see Gaurav back. Bisha and Shubhaditya, both very young quizzers, apart from the eastern part of India, if I'm not mistaken. They take part in age group quizzes. They do very well. And the fourth player is Dave Mcbride. He joined us the first time last year. And he was, I think, runner-up at the Brain of Britain radio show. And I think he might have been a mastermind champion.
Yep, 2020 mastermind. 2020 mastermind.
And in FLQL, he had a smashing run as well. Rahul, he was one of the standout players last time, right? Probably the best foreign player in the league stage.
Yes, if memory serves me correctly, yes, he was one of the best foreign players and probably in the top 2 or 3 for a long time.
I think he was the best foreign player, even better than Pat Gibson in the league stage, at least.
His runner-up in Tier 1.
And, yeah, he, if I'm not mistaken, had more than 150 total points, which is one of the highest overall in the last season. So, I mean, you can expect more of that, no doubt. Nothing else to be said.
Having those many points in a competition where there's a little bit of India content as well, it tells you just how strong he is on the things he knows. Should be a good game. It'll be interesting. The fight for second is what I'm looking forward to here. But hey, you never know. Maybe they'll all beat Dave as well. Match number 28, we have Urvi Khetan, Debashri Mitra, Priyanka Mehra, Alekhya Chakraborty. In a stunning turn of events, Alekhya is in the minority as the guy in this competition, which is just what we love to see. Alekhya is now in Mumbai or in Maharashtra. He's, of course, very good in business and lifestyle and stuff like that, but he can surprise you with a lot of great answers. Priyanka Johnson, the first time. Welcome, Priyanka. Hope to know more about you. Urvi is from Abhinav's old undergraduate college, and she's from my city, Kolkata. She's currently in Oxford. So, she's a great quizzer. Good to have you, Urvi, again. And Debashri Mitra, Hari, you've seen a lot in Bangalore quizzing for sure, right?
Yeah, actually, very strong player. I mean, and I think I've even played her in FLQL and gotten trounced, if I remember right. So yeah, very strong player, and she's also part of the Asian Quiz League. Great quizzer overall.
One of the standouts, I think, from season 1 was that Debashri got a musketeer on a fairly tough video game quad, if I remember correctly.
Oh yeah.
So Debashri can surprise you with her range of knowledge. She's probably, if I may say, the best female quizzer in terms of lone wolf events, or definitely up there in the top 2 or something. She's a player to be reckoned with for sure. Let's move on to match 29. Akash Patil, Dhruv Mukherjee, Daniel Subramanian, and Subramaniam Balakrishna. Subramaniam and I have been sort of college quizzing contemporaries. Good to see him back. Dhruv Mukherjee from Calcutta, good in films and good in art and culture. But he's a general quizzer, can do well on his day. Akash Patil is a bit younger than all of us. He joins us again for a 3rd season in a row. And Daniel joins us from Kuala Lumpur, if I'm not mistaken. So that's another country sort of added to our map, Malaysia. Welcome, Daniel. Look forward to seeing all of you do well in this game. In fact, this game is quite an open game. Dhruv was one of our very late seeded players. Dhruv had excellent season 1 and 2, which is why he became a seed here, pipping a few others off the podium. But I will say anybody can win this game. Match 30. Santosh Kanbargi, Dinesh Kritivasan, Casey Siddharth, and Vipin Nair. Vikas, I'll come to you to learn a bit about Casey and Santosh in a bit. But before that, DG, because you are a proud member of the Bombay Quiz Club, he won a Bombay Quiz Club competition recently, beating the best of the best, including Pat Gibson, didn't he?
Oh yeah, what a match that was. Dinesh Kritivasan came up trumps at the Cone Open Quiz. Incredible performance. And it's possibly one of the standouts I've seen in the last 2-3 years. yes, Pat Gibson, Devashri Mitra, all of these folks in the final. Dinesh just completely trounced them. Incredible performance. And I've run into him in the Learned League as well a couple of times. Excellent quizzer and overall a great guy to sort of hear on. So yeah.
I'll request you to be a little louder when we move to you next time. Rahul, I mean, someone of that caliber, in that case, Dinesh has been a little disappointing in terms of results in FLQL then, isn't it?
Yes, from one perspective, been slightly disappointing, but I think that's down to one or two really weak topics. I think lifestyle and entertainment, which you could consider slightly lowbrow in most cases. I think those have kind of undermined him a little bit, but overall, yeah, there's no doubting that the class and the sheer knowledge that he has, and yeah, you never know. He's probably
Vikas,
going to.
About our little lesser known players, I don't know much about them to speak.
They have unfortunately left very little for us to know, but yeah, Santosh has played last season. Was one of is a casual quizzer, is kind of learning the ropes of it. So hopefully, yeah, he'll also show some climb further up.
So that's also part of like a Brothers of Destruction situation. His brother Casey Sachin also is part of this league. So they must be having an elder brother, younger brother rivalry going on in the league to see who does better. We'll all keep an eye out for that. Vipin joins us for the first time. Welcome, Vipin. Hope you have a blast in this competition. Match 31, Akshit Goel, Rajat Gururaj, Drew Sheeler, and Salil Bijur. We'll go to Abhinav first on Salil. He joins us for the first time, Abhinav. He's quite a busy man. He does a lot of important work for the government. What can we expect from Salil? And are you surprised that he did not become a seeded player out of off the blocks? Because he is quite a good quizzer. He's great mark quizzer ratings.
Firstly, am I loud enough?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good. So yeah, Salil's a terrific quizzer. Quizzed with him quite a bit during his Pune days. Very, very good in entertainment, media, sports for that matter. I think he just ran into Drew Sheeler. That's probably why he's not a seed. But Salil's a fabulous quizzer. Good to see him back into the fold. I know, as you rightly said, he does a lot of important work for the government, so probably been a little on and off, but an excellent quizzer nonetheless, and very, very good to have him back here.
Rajat, I think, is from Bangalore, joins for the first time, but I have seen him a lot in these KQA quizzes and makes the final often. Good to see Rajat. Akshat joins us as well. Drew, I know him from a long time actually, and it was very good to see Drew turn up for FLQL. And not to my surprise, but surprise of many others who may not have heard of Drew, he's done excellent in the last season, in the first season as well, and he's beaten a lot of top Indian quizzers. Rahul, Drew topped one of the topics, didn't he, in season 2?
He did, and it's one of those topics which is a traditionally weak topic for most others. So that's a formidable strength to have. I think he topped in entertainment, where he got a phenomenal 52 points. So yeah, I mean, and overall, he's not to be messed with either. So yeah, expecting him to be better than last year, where he was slightly, I would say, slightly underwhelming, but can see him easily be in the top tiers once again.
Yep. And he's also a big money winner in Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. So that's a little bit about Drew. Match 32 coming up. Gautam Ghosh, Anand Rao, Kumar Kanav, Daivat Bhatt. Daivat plays in the AQL, a very late entrant into our league. So welcome. Kumar plays joining us for the first time. Anand Rao has been quizzing both seasons. Very enthusiastic quizzer. Always up for a good question, a good session of quizzing. And Gautam Ghosh is our seeded player. He's one of our most senior players and one of the most respected players, most experienced, 100%. He has a lot of years of quizzing under his belt, and it'll be very interesting to see how this game pans out. We wish all of you the best of luck. Match 33 coming up. We have Saurabh Sharma, Gigi George, Shaunak Purkayastha, and Karthik Balaji. Karthik's a very late entrant, but we'll look to know more about you, Karthik. Saurabh Sharma, very enthusiastic quizzer. He doesn't quiz so much, I managed to reel him in for the first and second season. That was good to see. Shaunak, Hari, I mean, you know Shaunak, right? Him and Vasi were quite strong players in Delhi quizzing for a few years before they left.
Yeah. Actually, I didn't know him then, but I haven't heard much about him. I don't know if he stopped quizzing or he's been out of the game for a while at least.
Yeah,
I haven't seen his name around.
Which is exciting to see him back in the competition. Yeah. We used to be teammates, rivals, what do you want to call it, from Hindu College in Delhi. And Rahul Gigi George is our seeded player. He's had quite excellent seasons, both seasons actually. I think he beat Rajiv Rai in the first season in a match, and he takes part in MIM as well, International Culture Challenge. He's been all over the place on the internet, and I mean, he deserves a seeding, although it might be to the surprise of a few people, right?
Not at all a surprise. In fact, he's been excellent in history and science, two slightly more highbrow topics. And overall, also, I think he's had 120 plus points last season, which completely justifies his being a seed, to be honest.
Absolutely. Move to match number 34. We have Prajwal Ganguly, Sarah Trivarthan, Snehal Mishra, and Gokul S. Snehal joins us for third season in a row, young quizzer, but quite enthusiastic, which is what we like to see. He's taken part in a lot of the friendlies. He helps read, etc. So welcome, Snehal, back. Prajwal joins us from somewhere in West Bengal, maybe Calcutta, maybe outside it. Welcome, Prajwal. First time you're playing. I hope you have a good time. Hari, a little bit about Gokul. I mean, Rahul knows him as well, but he's he's getting better by the year, right? He's
he's young quizzer and outstanding. I think he was a season 1 finalist, right? If I remember right.
Yes.
Yeah, and he's outstanding. I mean, for his age, the kind of questions he gets and the way you can see him working things out, it's brilliant to watch him. It's really fun. I think this year he should go far.
And Sarah joins us from the UK. If I remember, her Facebook photo is of her posing on the mastermind chair. So that tells you already a lot about what her quizzing credentials might be like. Sander, would you know anything else about her?
She only started quizzing pretty recently. I think she started during lockdown. She's only been quizzing for a year and a bit more, but she's getting better each month. So yeah,
that's good to see. Match 35, Alankrit Jain, a new player. Good to see you. Karthik Reddy, another new player. Welcome back. Utsav Ajay is also a new player, so not much to say about you three. But Govind Grewal returns and is definitely the favorite here, and also a seeded player. He's very strong in entertainment and media and so on. Good luck for this season, Govind. We'll move to match number 36. Rama Subramanian, Shrey Shailesh, Alin Chandran, Harish Mopur. Rama is also one of my college contemporaries. Shrey, slightly younger to me, very good in business quizzing, but that is not a stamp. He's very good in general quizzing as well. Alin is a high roller. I say that because he joins us from Las Vegas, and he's joined for the third season in a row. So good to have Alin, and very happy that Alin has convinced his sister, who had quit quizzing a long time ago, to return to quizzing as well. We'll come to when we do. And Harish is a long-time teammate in the US of Hari. So I'll pass it over to Hari. No surprises that he's a seeded player, right, Hari?
Oh no, he's really strong. I mean, I've been in the same team with him for AQL, and he's really strong in a lot of topics. I think he started quizzing in India. I think he was in IIM Bangalore, if I'm not wrong. He's now in Chicago. Again, highbrow topics, he's really good at it. Plus a few niche lowbrow also. He surprises you. He gets these answers out of nowhere. So
we'll quickly move on to match number 37. Nirmal Rajagopal and Apratim Belur Mukhopadhyay, Anuradha Santhanam and Rishikesh Verma. Nirmal is part of the team with Vineet and Dinesh and Anush. They've been quizzing a lot online. I think Nirmal just missed out on a seed position, but very strong play. He can beat anyone here in this game, actually. Apratim Belur, I said that he was very strong in art last season, and he told me that that put a lot of pressure on him because he says that he's not that good on art. So I won't say that this time. What I will say is very good in sports, very good in politics. I remember he got one of the lowest gets last season on a question about a Russian general, Soviet general. So Apratim can surprise you on his day. Anuradha joins us from Bangalore. She's joins for the first time, but we've been quizzing from a long time in KQA. We do a lot of pub quizzing together, so it's very exciting to see Anuradha back. And Rahul, Rishi is a contemporary from your Bangalore days, so what can we expect from Rishi?
Rishi is one of those quizzers who's consistent across topics. In fact, he has a very small standard deviation across his 8 categories this time around. Everything he's got a very similar range. So very, very strong quizzer, very formidable quizzer. And he's definitely a favorite for this game, I feel, even despite the strong competition he has.
Thanks for that, Rahul. We move to match number 38. We have Sarthak Jain, Jishnu Jairaj, Isa Schulz, and Arnab Sengupta. Arnab had to be cajoled into participating. He's a busy guy, young guy. And I think Omicron opened up a bit of a schedule, so he joins us this time. Jishnu playing for the first time, so welcome, Jishnu. Sarthak, I think, played last season. I haven't seen him face-to-face yet, so we hope to know more. Isa Schulz, he's a chaser in the Chase Australia. He is a very top-ranking player in WQC. And Sander, you want to add something about Isa?
I know he was number 23 in the World Championships in 2020. So that's like top 30 in the world. So he's, I mean, that says a lot already. So yeah, it's definitely a person we should consider for tier 1. I was a bit surprised he didn't get into further last season, but yeah, maybe with a bit more luck, he might get it further.
And he's also part of the syndicate team, which are Asian Quiz League champions and so on, as we said before. Definitely champion material if things fall his way. You know, it's a little bit of luck involved in all sorts of quizzing. You don't know how it falls. Match 39, Arijit Sen, Jaikantan R, Chetan Mishra, and Ashwin Gopalakrishnan. Well, JK doesn't need an introduction. Why is that? Because he's our season 2 champion. So you know all about JK, and therefore he's no surprise he's the seed. Arijit Sen, DG, I mean, we all know about him a little bit. You want to tell me about him?
Outstanding quizzer and quizmaster, particularly when it comes to entertainment. Here's one guy I would rate very highly when it comes to anything lowbrow.
Chetan also second season in a row, and Ashwin also does so. So welcome, guys. We'll learn more about you guys as we move along the competition. Match 40, Mohammad Munawir from Delhi, from AIMS. So I think he's a to-be doctor or a doctor. So welcome, Munawir. Gillian Woon joins from the UK. Good to see you, Gillian. I was really excited to talk to you and introduce you to the FLQL. So thanks for participating and signing up. Raghav Talwar from St. Stephen's in Delhi, very strong in economics. Formerly from St. Stephen's, probably in LSE and places like that right now. And Jimmy Lee is our seeded player, and Jimmy joins us from the USA. Sander, you know a little bit about Jimmy?
Jimmy is a really nice guy. I think he's one of the nicest quizzers there is. But he's also very modest, but probably academic stuff he's really good. He'll know a lot about science, I'd say. Yes, history, yeah. But Gillian, on the other hand, if I can say something about Gillian as well, she's just like Amit. She's also on Pat's team in OQL UK. She's not the best with the computer stuff, but she knows a lot of things. So yeah, she might surprise us. We'll see.
This is an interesting game, actually. All of them come with a lot of years of quizzing, Munawir and Raghav as well. Match 41, Kishore Rajendra is from Bangalore. Young quizzer, he does very well in FLQL, by the way, considering the competition is so high and there's so many tiers. He comes in the top half of the tiers for sure. Paul Martin Puvakulam played last year for the first time and he did exceedingly well. By exceedingly well, he did, I think, in rank 40s or 50s, which is not easy in a competition of 328 players with such caliber. Ramesh Natarajan from Chennai, very strong in entertainment, very strong in sports, very strong in India, to be honest. And Kaustuv, not sure where he is right now, but originally from Calcutta, excellent in food, excellent in history, mythology, a wide variety of stuff. You can't box him in any one category. This will be a very interesting game. You don't know who's going to come first. You don't even know who's going to come second. So this is one of those games to watch out for also. Match 42, Sid Grover, Ayan Bairolia, Keshav Guha, and AC Sachin. Sachin, I told you, is Siddharth's brother. He joined us from Nairobi this time. The last time he joined us, he was from Somalia. So another thanks to him, we've added another country to the FLQL map, which is Kenya. Good to see you here. Ayan is from, not sure where he's from, but he spent a lot of time in Ahmedabad quizzing, also in Mumbai for a brief period. So it's good to have Ayan here. Sid's joined for the second year in a row. Good to see you back, Sid. And Rahul, I'll come to you for Keshav. Hasn't played the first 2 seasons, comes into the 3rd season and directly gets a seeded position. What does that tell you about him?
I think Keshav has been a fantastic quizzer. I think he came in the top 10 in Mahaquizzer at one point. He's also a fairly well-known writer, if I'm not mistaken. So he has the lit credentials. He also has the quizzing credentials. And I'm guessing this was Arjun's recommendation. I think it's a perfectly justified recommendation. He's very deserving of being a seed.
Match 43, we have Kingshuk Biswas, Ashwini Natu, Anubhav Datta, and Subrat. Subrat joined for the first time. Welcome to the competition. Anubhav has been playing both seasons, so welcome, Anubhav. We are like Twitter mutuals, as we like to call it. So good to find quizzers from non-traditional audiences. I mean, not from Facebook groups, but from Twitter. So that's always good to see. Ashwini has been doing a lot of online quizzing, offline quizzing as well, but she's been quizzing a lot online in all the leagues. And she's been improving every single competition every time I see her. So good to see Ashwini. Kingshuk's the seed. I think Kingshuk did extremely well last season. I think he might have been in the 20s or 30s, which was a stark improvement in ranking considering he was slightly underwhelming in season 1. So Abhinav, Kingshuk definitely deserves to be the seed.
Yeah, I would think so. And I think he's one of the all-time greats in the Calcutta Pantheon. Exceptionally good with sports and a bunch of other topics, entertainment, culture and lifestyle in particular. So when it comes to fashion, generally all things glitzy, he's the guy.
He likes the finer things in life.
He likes the finer things in life. Yeah.
Match 44, Devjit Tripathi, Srinath Sundareswaran, Krishnamurti Viswanathan, and Rishabh Gogoi. Rishabh's from Assam. Amrit told me that when Amrit was living in Assam, Amrit's one of our writers, by the way, Rishabh was sort of the school quizzing prodigy. So good to see Rishabh quizzing through. He's now joined a new college in Delhi. So good luck, Rishabh, in this competition. Srinath's been doing a lot of quizzing, Mimmerswell, ICC, Lowbrow, all competitions you might imagine. Srinath's been quizzing. So someone in touch with quizzing can be very dangerous on that day. Devjit joins for the first time, and we hope to learn a lot more about you, Devjit. Hari, I'd like to take Krishnamurti Viswanathan. He might have been your teammate, is your teammate, but he has consistently come in the top 30 or top 25 in FLQL both seasons.
Oh, yeah. See, he's again part of the Bay Area Quiz Club. Young chap, very good, and one of the really good quizzes from the Bay Area. So that he deserves his top seed here.
Yeah, I mean, I think people in India may not know a lot of these players who have moved out of India but continued quizzing abroad. But FLQL sort of allowed them to make their mark in sort of the sands of time in Indian quizzing. So that's good to see always. Match 45, Santonab joins for the second time in a row. He's from Kolkata. Ramesh was the first sign up for FLQL season 3. So welcome Ramesh to this. Harish Krishna, you might know him for many reasons, of course, but Harish also created that all-important plugin that all your readers use where the question appears on the screen. And I want to tell everyone that this season we'll be giving that file which you can plug in to all readers. So all the time, if you want, questions will appear on the screen. And that's thanks to Harish's effort in the back end. This is a contribution which is going to make quizzing very fair. It's going to make it accent neutral. I mean, it's going to revolutionize online quizzing, at least the Mimmer format, and we thank Harish for that. Kunal Roy, very, very young quizzer. Young, matlab, if I'm calling him young, I can also call myself young, which is what I'm doing here. He's a seed, so a seeded player. He's done very well. So good to see you, Kunal. He wrote an excellent friendly as well towards the end of the break. Match 46, Kushan Patel, Anunay Kulshrestha, Anirudh Patil, and Naveen Giles, I guess. Hari, would you know any of them?
I know Naveen. He's, I think, based out of Seattle. He used to quiz back in Kerala and when he was in India, I think. Yeah, he's a pretty decent player. So he's got, he's pretty well rounded. So I think he's better in sports than in other topics. But yeah, all
Which is a great quality to have in FLQL because sports often tends up being a weak subject for many players and many opponents. And it's sort of a thing where you can really capitalize if you're really good in a topic like sports. Anirudh joined us. I'm not sure from where, but he's been playing both seasons. So welcome, Anirudh. Anunay has been playing both seasons as well. He's originally from Delhi, much younger than me. Welcome, Anunay. Good luck for the season. And Kushan Patel is our seeded player. Kushan can surprise anybody on that day. Abhinav deserved seeded player, right?
Yeah, I think so. Quizzed quite a lot with him over the last few years. Exceptionally good with media, so movies, books, all of that. Even some of the finer things in life, food, fashion. So yeah, overall well-rounded quizzes. So you pit him against, say, someone like Naveen Giles, who's good with sports, and you have just the perfect contest. I should also add here that Kushan Patel and Naveen Giles were both national finalists at Tata Crucible. So don't forget the business angle to this is there.
Yeah. Cushion was, he was. Yeah. Match 47, we have Manav Kapoor, Bharg Mankodi, Nrupal Chaudhary, and Manjeet Kumar. Manjeet did exceedingly well in season 2, by the way. He joined us in season 2 and did very well. Bharg joins us from Ahmedabad or around that region. And when we did the live streams of the national finals, Bharg is the producer of that show. Nrupal joins us once again after 2 seasons. He's calls himself a casual quizzer, but that's what I love to see, that they enjoy quizzing in this format and there is something for them to learn to come back all the time. Appreciated. Manav Kapoor is the seeded player. He's very good in history and Indian history, culture. Manav can surprise you on his day as well. Match 48, Rishabh Barodawala. I think he's also from the Ahmedabad Quiz Club. Welcome, Rishabh, first time. Ruru Chaudhary, very good in pop culture stuff and so on. He does excellent pop culture quiz in Calcutta all the time. He might surprise you. And it's actually quite a late entrant into quizzing. I mean, we all have been quizzing since school, but Ruru, I think, is one of the late entrants into quizzing, and he's done exceedingly well over the years. Hari, would you know anything about Arun Ramanathan by any chance?
No, not much.
But you will know about Manoj, wouldn't you?
Oh yeah, Manoj, again, my teammate in AQL, very strong in highbrow, science, flora, fauna, all things Asia. So yeah, definitely deserves a top seed here and should be fun watching it.
Yep, Arun, I think, is from Karnataka. All the time in KQA. Good to see Arun back as well. He missed season 1, but he played season 2 and 3. Match 49, Manu Sudhakar, Ayush Avasthi, Gokul Raghunath, and Ranjani Sheshadri. Ranjani is, I think, she's a former Jeopardy player from the US, one of our late entrants. Welcome, Ranjani, to the competition. Want to know more about you as we move on. Gokul, Ayush, top quizzers. Ayush has been, a little younger than me. Very good in biz, but good in general stuff as well. Gokul took part last year, did quite well, considering it was first year. I think Gokul would like to improve on his rankings. And Rahul, I'll throw it over to Manu Sudhakar. It was surprising not seeing him reach the final, wasn't it? I think he lost the semi-final. Achyut pipped him to that second position for the final spot in the final. You can expect him to definitely rally towards a grand final win also, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, it was surprising, but it's the nature of the sport, I guess, where he ran into a equally formidable opponent on the day. But he's obviously an excellent quizzer. He's got 20 plus in 4 of the 8 categories, which is quite an achievement. And just shows the range of knowledge he already has. So, like I said, on his day, we can easily see him in the tier 1 finale once again.
Match 50 coming up.
At all.
We have Bhargava EM, who joins us for the first time. He's an accomplished quizzer. We spent a lot of time in Hyderabad. And one thing I know is very good in mythology. I think Indian mythology is something which I've never seen him sort of miss a question on. Fairly experienced quizzer, experienced question writer, quiz master. So good to see Bhargava finally coming into the FLQL bandwagon and joining us. Much appreciated. He could have easily been a seeded player, to be honest with you. Mukilan, consistently good. Very good for his age, very high potential. Sanjay, Abhinav, 5-second intro about Sanjay. He does a lot of quizzing, a lot for quizzing or something, right?
Yeah, that's right. So one of those people I think you spoke about who are doing sort of good ambassadors for quizzing. So he has a lot of these ideas in terms of businesses focused around quizzing for non-quizzers, and some of them should come to fruition very soon. But lovely to see him play as well while he figures out his business ideas.
And Mario's been quizzing all around the world. He's from India, and Mario can beat any player on his day. He's very strong in a lot of artsy cultural subjects, but that doesn't mean he's weak in anything else. Mario probably the deserved seed, but I think Bhargava just might have missed out on a seeding position in this competition. Match 51, Ujjwal Kirandas joins for the first time. Welcome, Ujjwal. Arjun Siva has been playing both seasons, doing better every season. Ajay Krishna Jairam has also played both seasons, of the third season as well. Good to see both of you returning, because I know both of you do not quiz a lot in the offline setting, so it's good to see that. Matthew Marcus is our seeded player, and Rahul, a little bit about Matthew before I move to Sander. He was one of probably most pleasantly surprising players of last season, right? I mean, he was in the tier 1 for throughout the 6-7 weeks.
Yeah, I don't know if I agree about the pleasantly surprising. I don't think it was a surprise at all. He's been excellent in most other competitions as well. I think I've seen him do well in the leagues that I'm playing alongside him. He's an excellent quizzer, and here also I think he got overall he got about 140 plus points. So overall over the season. So not surprising at all, and we can expect more of that this time.
I think Sander, you know a lot about Matthew, but for the sake of time, we'll move on. Matthew has been an excellent quizzer. I think he does a lot of.
Yeah, he's a very good quizzer.
He's from the US, I think. He has some base in the UK as well. Match 52, Mick Logue, Avinash Mishra, Rahul Buddhavarapu, and Sarthak Gupta. Avinash, Rahul, and Sarthak have been quizzing in the FLQL. Rahul has been one of the most enthusiastic quizzers. He hasn't been quizzing much actually before FLQL or before the online. So one of those guys who has taken to online quizzing quite well. And thank you Avinash, Rahul, and Sarthak joining us this time as well. Mick, Sander, you know a little bit about Mick. He's from Australia. He's from the
He's yet again an Australian quizzer. Did he participate last season as well?
Yes, he did.
I think he did. I read a few games for him. I think he's got the potential to get much further than he did last season. I'm not sure he'll be turn one, but he might be closer. It's one of those Australians that you can expect a lot about. So we'll see.
Match 53, Supratim Sengupta, Movin Miranda, Shayak Chakrabarti, and Sampath Patnaik. Sampath has played both seasons. He's from Odisha near Bhubaneswar or Cuttack, one of these places. Welcome Sampath to competition again. Shayak Chakrabarti, my school senior, he was quiz captain when I started quizzing in school. Shayak has done exceedingly well in FLQL, by the way. Fairly high performing. His own rate is also good. He can beat anyone on his day. Hari, I'll throw it over to Supratim for a bit because I mean we were all Noida buddies at one point, weren't we? Hari,
right.
Supratim.
Supratim, yeah, he's been regular. He was at least a regular part of Delhi quizzing circle. Pretty good on his day. He can do very well. Yeah, I see him somewhere in the mid tiers. He should be doing fairly well.
Yeah, Rahul, I waited for Movin for you. Of course, he does great things for quizzing in general with the Asian Quiz League, and he was added to the quiz pantheon, if I may, if that's correctly called, in a program which in all things quiz. So Movin has been a great servant to quizzing. But as a quizzer, what does Movin bring to the table, and why does he deserve to be a seeded player?
So yeah, you're right. I think Movin has made a lot of contributions to quizzing, including currently the PQL that he's running. But that should not overshadow his abilities as a quizzer, because he's been consistently excellent. In fact, for donkey's years, he's been one of the best Indian quizzers in the WPC as well. Here in the FLQL, he's been particularly strong in history, of course, as well as lifestyle and science. So complementary subjects to some of the other players who have strengths mostly in the entertainment and sports sections. So always kind of an opportunity to one up over some of the, let's say, younger quizzers.
I think Movin told me that he struggled a bit with the recall, and that if he had a little bit more recall, because FLQL 30 seconds on the direct, it's not like a written quiz where you can come back 15 minutes later to answer a question. So he said that little bit of quick recall can see Movin go like super high, like Movin can beat anyone on his day. He has a lot of questions as well. Match 54. Match 54, we have Rashmi Vallabh Josula, Naveen Rajaram, Orithro Chatterjee, and Maithri Gupta. Orithro is a quizzer from Delhi. He used to study in Lucknow. A fairly casual quizzer, but good to see him return for third season in a row. When a lot of quizzers have said that fatigue's gotten in the way, Orithro's burned through and he's returned for season 3, which is always good to see. Maithri Gupta joins us from Mumbai. She is also part of a quizzing power couple. Abhinav's partner, of course, and she's been a great participant. She's given some great answers. Rashmi Vallabh Jesula, the second lady in this quiz, I think she joins us for the first time. She's been a keen contributor in the Karnataka Quiz Association. She's been a long time quizzer. I don't see her a lot in offline quizzes, so it was very good to see her sign up this time for this competition. DG, you'd know a little bit about Rashmi, would you, by any chance?
No, not in addition to what you mentioned.
Yeah, so good to see Rashmi here. We hope wish you the best. Naveen Rajaram took a break for season 2 because for some good news in his family. So he's taken a small little break and he's back for season number 3. What can we expect from Naveen, Rahul? On his day, he can beat anyone for sure. Tier 1 contention?
Tier 1 if some of those weaknesses are covered, but yeah, definitely an excellent quizzer. He did really well in season 1, and he's been pretty good in the AQL and similar leagues. So yeah, we can expect good things from him if everything kind of comes together a little bit.
Match 55, Subhadip Chakraborty, Naveen Jayakumar, Naveen Sharma, and Arjun Banerjee. Arjun joins us a third season in a row. I know he's from the IIM, so he has those sort of business and theory stuff well-rounded. So welcome, Arjun. I'll throw it over to Abhinav for Naveen Sharma and Subhajit. I think both have maybe a little bit of Mumbai connections.
Yeah, both fantastic quizzers. Naveen Sharma in particular, very good with sports. For one, tennis is like he's an absolute gem when it comes to anything tennis. Also very good with travel. Till recently used to run this travel company, which has sort of helped round him as a good quizzer overall. Shubhajit is very good with entertainment, particularly movies. Also very good with sports. So again, see a great contest coming up on the cards. And when it comes to Naveen Jayakumar, I leave it all to all of you. I mean, the less said about him, the better.
Yes, I think he's such a great legacy. There's nothing much to add about him. Some even call him the godfather of Indian cuisine. Great contributions, great host, great motivator. He's been a great motivator for us in FLQL as well. Told us some good things, some positive things to work on, and I know so many people who are participating in FLQL with the hope that they get to face Dr. Naveen Jayakumar in one of the quizzes. So that's the sort of legacy he has in Indian cuisine, and it's very excellent.
Greatest ever ambassadors of cuisine that I've seen.
Absolutely. Match 56, Tanay Padhi, Anuradha Dharwadkar, Nikhil Sondhei, and Varun PD. Varun joins the second time in a row. Good to see you, Varun. Good luck for this season. Anuradha from the western part of India. I think she can do much better than what her scores suggest at the moment. I think maybe some topics of her liking does not turn up in FLQL. Maybe that's sort of a reflection of her ranking, but she can do very well. Tanay can surprise you on his day. He's in the US, he's gone to great universities, he knows his academics well, knows his entertainment, pop culture really well. And Nikhil Sondhei, consistent tier 1 player. I'm sure DG, you know a lot about him, but I think he's a consistent tier 1 player, very good on all topics. And if I may add, he is the current rank 1 for WQC from India. So he's India's best WQC player. So that's all you know about
Nikhil Sondhei. 36 of their about say.
Match 57, Vaishnavi, Ravi, Arnab Mandal, Ritvik Rao, and Nikhil Soneja. Vaishnavi, first-time player, welcome. Arnab Mandal is a very young quizzer, and he's probably in his age group of, say, sub-22 or sub-23, probably the best in India now that Preetham's gotten a bit older. Ritvik Rao, that's the second time in a row, or the first time. Welcome, Ritvik. We hope to learn a lot about you. And I'll throw it over to Nikhil for Rahul. Nikhil's a seeded player, not surprising. Season 1 also he did very well. Season 2 also excellent. I think the competition is so cutthroat that one bad game can maybe push you down from tier 1 to tier 3, but he's a player in contention, for great things, right?
Yeah, absolutely. In fact, that's what happened. I think he had one slightly rough day on 2 occasions, and that kind of, put paid. But, overall score of 150 plus, I think you have to take that seriously. That's a serious score. And with a little bit of luck, he's right up there again.
Sander, if I'm not mistaken, Nikhil, I think is probably one of the good WQC scores, right? If I'm not mistaken.
He's definitely one of the. He's done a lot of quizzing. I think he might be tier 1 probably if everything falls good. I'd say tier 1, but. He's also done some quizzes in the UK, where he's done very well. I think he does UK. He definitely does Connections Online Quiz League, which is like the online version of Only Connect in Britain, and he's done very well there. So definitely a good quiz.
I don't remember the exact score, but I know he did very well in WQC.
Yeah.
Match 58, Anant Nambiar, Pat Gibson, Naman Jain, and Ishani SG. Ishani joins the second year in a row. Good to have you back, Ishani. Hope you enjoyed the last time. Naman's one of our youngest quizzers in India. So good to see Naman. And we root for the young quizzers to do really well, cause upsets. So I'm looking forward to follow how you do. Anant Nambiar, would any of you know anything about him? not much. We'll find out more about Anant as the season goes on, and really nothing much to say about Pat, isn't it? But I'll throw it over to Sander, because I think you read a lot of games of Pat. He's an excellent person to even quiz with, right?
Yeah, obviously he's one of the best quizzes in the world. He's also one of the nicest persons to read games for, always very respectful to everyone. He's also doing AQL next season, so that will be interesting to see how that goes. But yeah, I think, as always, he's one of the favorites for this season.
I know you're very excited about Pat being in your AQL team, but we'll wait that fun of the day. Match 59, Nadeem Ansari from Mumbai. He took a break in season 2, but he's been a crucial part of Bombay Quiz Club, so welcome. Rishwin Jackson also has some roots in Bombay, some roots in Kerala, so welcome Rishwin, very good in sports, extremely good. Aparna Kalukari, I don't know much about her, but she's a new player. And would any of you know a little bit about her? I know she signed up quite late, but we hope to find out more about her. And Patrick Carthy is the seed, and I think one of the players who we did not know much about, but a little bit of research about his credentials has told us why he should be so good. DG, anything about him, and has he mentioned anything about himself?
No, I've faced Patrick Carthy at the position and been trounced. He's really, really good. No doubt at all. Yeah. Consistent tier 1 on position.
Okay. Sander, anything about Patrick, which we might not be aware of?
As a start, he scored 115 on the World Championship last season, so that's definitely a very good quizzer. He also regularly does very well on Mcbride and competitions like that. So yeah, definitely deserves to be a seed here.
So he's a new player and he gets seeded. Match number 60, Arjun Krishnan is a young guy. He might be in college or he may even be in school. So welcome Arjun to the competition. Siddhartha Roy from Jadavpur University in Kolkata, but doesn't quiz so much. So excited to have him here. Anupama Srirangan, I think she's not from India. She's, I think, in Europe or in the US. If any of you know about her, please let me know. I think she signed up for the first time. We wish you all the best. And Piyush Kedia is one of the young quizzers from Kolkata, IIT Kharagpur. He has great things written for him in quizzing. He just has to keep doing well. He was consistently in tier 1 for most of first season, but then dropped off towards the end. And a few bad games in season 2 made him drop down, but he can beat anyone on his day. Match 61, we have Pradeep Ramanathan, Anil Raghavan, Rahul Bhaskar, and Soham Bhaduri. Rahul and Soham join us for the first time. Best of luck, guys. Anil Raghavan, Hari, would you know anything about him?
Yeah, he's a quizzer based out of Kerala. I'd say, mid-tier. Does attends regularly and does win a lot of quizzes in Kerala. So
he joins us for the first time.
Pradeep, quite good with literature, I should.
Okay. Pradeep is one of the better sports quizzers, Abhinav, but that should not fool others in his other strengths as well, right?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, sports and cricket in particular is, of course, what we best know him for, but incredible quizzer when it comes to entertainment, when it comes to arts, when it comes to geography, overall tremendously well-rounded quizzer. I would back him to win.
Match 62, Ramesh Natarajan. Different from the other Ramesh Natarajan. He used to quiz a long time ago, and he's returned to quizzing thanks to the online space after, I think, 25 years or so. He says he's had to rustle out his quiz diaries before Excels and PPTs. There's with diaries, and he said he had to take those out to again sort of get in touch with quizzing. So welcome, Ramesh. We love players like you joining us all the time. It's much appreciated. Jun is, I think, from Hong Kong or Taiwan, one of these places, if I'm not mistaken. Welcome, Jun. He quizzes all around the world, so good to have you. Shumanto, a second season in a row, he joins us. Very good in sports, entertainment, art. Those are his interests, at least. And Prakhar Gupta, I'll throw it over to Rahul. Prakhar was quite low-key in Indian quizzing, Rahul, but as he has moved out of India, he has grown in strength, and he's, probably keeping India's flag flying high in all these global competitions, isn't he?
Yes, he is. FLQL is definitely where he's, consistently been in the top tiers, but he's been really good in the, member leagues that have been taking place all across the world as well. Doing consistently well, being one of the best Indian quizzers, Indian origin quizzers in those leagues. So yeah, I can easily see him being in the first 2 tiers once again, which he has consistently been in the first.
And he's fairly young. He's still fairly young. Match
Yeah.
63, Pranjal Agarwal, Venkat Raman, Ravindra, Avinash Matthews, Krishnamurti J. Avinash Matthews, Abhinav, I'm sure you know him. He's from St. Stephen's in his collegiate days. And now he's, I think, a professor of law. At least he dabbles in law in some form or the other. Venkat Raman Ravindra is from Bangalore. There's a lot of question writing. I know he works in a content company, so he must be dabbling in facts all the time. Pranjal has his highs and lows, but his highs can be very high. He's very a strong quiz. I used to see him team up with Achyut Sanjay and KQA quizzes all the time. Pranjal can beat anyone on his day. But Krishnamurti J joins us after a long time. He took a long break from quizzing. I think he tried to avoid the online quizzing bug as much as possible. But he's finally given in. So really excited to see Krishnamurti J. Hari, would you know, have you spent a lot of time with him or quizzed against or with him?
Not really. I think he was in Hyderabad, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes,
But no.
Hyderabad. Yes. DG, you would know a little bit about him. He's a very chill guy for sure.
Quite a bit. He is among my favorite people on the circuit. Fantastic guy to hang around with, and a better quizzer than that. Although he claims to be like tier 9, 10 or whatever, but he is right up there among the best quizzers. Entertainment, sports, movies, the works. Terrific to have him back.
But not the kind of Googler that you think we're talking about.
Oh, he's an ex-Googler, not a Googler anymore.
He's an ex-Googler. Match 64, Prashant John Abraham, Premchand Chintalapudi, Anindya Rastogi, and Prasan Poddar. Well, Anindya, I was telling you, is Alin's sister. So welcome back to quizzing after a long time, Anindya. Really hope you have a good time in FLQL, and hopefully you beat your brother. Premchand joins us for the first time as well. Good luck. Prasant, he's done quite well actually in season 2. Rahul, what are his strengths actually? Sports for sure, but I think highbrow cinema is also one thing because his rankings quite high for season 2.
He's actually really strong in history as well, history and sports. Entertainment, not so much yet, but yeah, I mean, if you're talking about those being his strengths and him not doing particularly well in those yet, I think there's a lot of potential there for him to improve even further.
And Prasan Poddar joins us from somewhere in the Middle East. I don't know if it's Abu Dhabi or he's definitely from there. And Prasan, he can also beat anyone on his day. I saw him run Vinu Sanjay very close in one game in season 1. And he's probably a deserving seed. A lot of people in India may not know him because he doesn't quiz much in India, but you see him perform in quizzes when you see him, and you'll know why he's a seeded player in this competition. It's not easy to be a seeded player, by the way, in FLQL. A lot of good quizzers participating. Match 65, Praveen VR, Diya Bhattacharya, Shanka Ghosh Dasidar, and Abid Abdullah. Well, Abid is one of my contemporaries from college quizzing. He quizzed in Chennai. For the most part, he's dabbled in content quizzes, so he's always dealing with trivia. Welcome after 2 seasons of not being able to convince you. You have come, so hope you have a good time. Shanka, this is the kind of player whose support we need. Shanka's always there to help us for any suggestions we need. He reads a lot of games for us. He's always dabbling in quizzing conversations, and we need people like you more in quizzing. So Shanka, thank you for being you. Diya Bhattacharya is formerly from Kolkata, but I think she spends a lot of time in Mumbai, a lot of time in the hills these days because it's the work from home life. Welcome back, Diya. Hope to see you do very well. And Praveen VR, Hari, I'm sure you know Praveen quite well, don't you?
Yeah, very good eyebrow guy. Right. One of the highly ranked Indian players. So.
Yeah, I think he's very good in history, if I'm not mistaken, but also stuff like sports and all. He used to do a history quiz for KQA for a long time, so before COVID got in the way. Match 66, Niran Karnik, Shivam Bhardwaj, Sabyasachi Rawat, and Prithvish Datta. Shivam, we've been rivals on the quiz stage, but then we've been like very good friends when we go back to the hotel room after the quiz. So good to see you back, Shivam. Hope you have a good time. Sabyasachi Rawat joins for the first time. If any of you know about him, you might want to tell me, but I don't think there's much there. Niran Karnik, interestingly, would any of you know Niran Karnik? Okay, it's fine. I know that there is a Niran Karnik who is a co-founder of Cricinfo, and I'm sort of silently hoping it's the same Niran Karnik, because I knew that Niran used to also quiz a lot, but we'll find out as the competition goes on. And Prithvish Datta, the seed, Rahul, we all know Prithvish is very good, but he also potential to be a tier 1 finalist, right? I mean, he can beat anyone, right?
Yeah, he did come close. I mean, let's not forget. He probably had a little bit of bad luck in a knockout scenario, but he's excellent at sports, which I think everyone who's seen him quiz knows. But surprisingly, he's also very good at science. So that's a very good combination to have. It's a very formidable combination of categories to be good at. And yeah, I expect him to be in the top tiers once again.
Match 67, Francis Rodriguez, Sharath Mangalpalli, Ravi Ananthan, and Raghuveer Mukkamalla. Francis from Mumbai. People might know him from business quizzing, but don't box him into that category. He does a lot of good quizzing, a lot of years of experience. I'm sure DG knows that, but I just said it on his behalf. Sharath joins for the first time, a late entrance. Welcome back. Ravi Ananthan, if any of you know about him, you might want to share. I personally don't, but we'll find out. And Hari, I'll throw it over to you for Raghuveer. Former Jeopardy player, he used to run a website called Trivia Bug, or still runs it. A lot of good quizzing content. Any young quizzer trying to do better, that's a great way to make your base right. But he's an excellent quizzer, right? He can beat anyone on his day.
Oh yeah, he on his day. In fact, I only got to know him through FLQL, but yeah, I've seen him play, and I think played against him, and he's really good. I mean, like you said, on his day, he can win any game.
For sure. Match 68, Atul Kumar, Raghav Singh Bhadoria, Rajiv Bhattacharya, and Raja Gopal PS. Welcome, Atul, once again to the competition. Raghav, I told you, we have a rivalry going on with Vinayak on who does better among the brothers. Rajiv Bhattacharya, one of the chillest people in quizzing in Kolkata. He's quite a busy man, actually, and thanks for taking time out and joining us for season 3. And Rahul, Raja Gopal, seeded player, great in science, great in some literature stuff. How far can we expect him to go in this competition?
So, Raj Gopal, I expect him to do a little bit better in season 2, but I think now that he's got a taste and now that he's got the experience, I think he'll do much better. Yes, he is in fact excellent in science, but season 2, it wasn't his best scoring. That's probably a scoring opportunity for him right there in the upcoming season. His best categories were actually history and sports. Sports especially, I know he's the kind of quizzer who's never missed a single question on US sports ever, which is a very unique talent to have as a quizzer. So yeah, if he can make up for the science bit, he's up there. Yeah.
Match 69, Ajay Parasuraman joins us after a 1-year break. Sherpa Ratnam, Rajiv Rai, and Akash Rai. Akash is a doctor, and we thank doctors like Akash, Dr. Naveen Jaykumar, and Chandrakant Nair, who have been doing such an important job for us during these COVID times. A salute to you for your contribution to society. Thanks for taking time out, Akash, and joining us this season as well. Sherpa Ratnam, you might see her on the TV channels. I mean, she's a extremely well-known, renowned entertainment journalist, entertainment interviewer. You might know her from the television screens. Ajay Parasuraman took a 1-year break, but he's back. No introduction to those who quiz regularly in India. Ajay has been one of the best quizzers for his age group, for sure. He's a busy man now these days, so may not be quizzing as much as his liking, but you can't count him out in any competition or any match on his day. Rajiv Rai is the seed. I know DG knows him really well, so I won't go to DG. Rahul, what can we expect from Rajiv Rai this season? I think in an underwhelming season 1, a good season 2. Do you think season 3 can be his season?
Absolutely. I think in the first season, he must have miscalculated his strategy a little bit, causing him to not be where he should be, which is in the first few years. But I think he got it just right in the second season and did excellently overall as well with 150 plus points and a very, very high finish. So I think now that he knows what needs to be done, how the game needs to be played, I think it's going to be more of season 2 heroics over here as well.
We have a game on our YouTube where Rajiv just lost to Caleb, and I think that was the game which should have been in Rajiv's bag, and sort of he fell out. I mean, fell out of tier 1 because of the result. So one bad game can do that in FLQL. The competition is so tight, and I think if luck falls his way, Rajiv can definitely be in contention. One of the most experienced quizzers, Abhinav, I'm sure. I mean, he's a BQC Hall of Famer as well.
Absolutely. One of the greatest there is. And yeah, totally back him to win this. But yeah, you have Ajay Parasuraman breathing down his neck. So yeah, you never know.
Should be a nice game. Match 70. We have Sudhir Pai, Shivin Mathur, Aditya Mohapatra, and Ramesh Atriya. Sudhir Pai is from Mumbai. A lovely gentleman to quiz with. Supports quizzing, the culture of quizzing a lot. I think doesn't quiz as much, would have liked to, but good to see him take part in season 2 and season 3. Shivan had a great start to season 2. He got a lot of unique answers right when we used to do analysis, Shivan. So that's not easy at all. Aditya Mohapatra joins us for the first time. Good luck this season, Aditya. And Ramesh Atriya, I'm sure a lot of you know, but since I'll just take over, Ramesh joins us from somewhere in the Middle East, I think, maybe Kuwait. If you're a young guy on Facebook, you would have known him as one of the admins or question writers on Quizlings, which is the Quizzition for teens. For many years, he gave a lot of good content on Quizlings, and now he's taken it on the Asian Quiz League. Ramesh writes silently for a lot of leagues around the world as well. So he's someone who you cannot take for granted in any game, and deservedly the seeded player. A lot of people in India have not seen Ramesh Atriya quiz, but people know that he's a good quizzer. Match 71, Nirmalya Biswas, Edwin Wilson, Ranajit Soman, excuse me for the typo, which will be fixed right away, and Raktim Nag. Abhinav, a little bit about any of them or many of them?
Yeah, Ranajit Soman I've quizzed with quite a bit. Excellent quizzer when it comes to sports. He's jokingly called the best football quizzer in the world, BFQITW, whatever that is. And also really, really good with literature. His reading list is something to look forward to every year. So overall, a man of diverse tastes and should be the favorite for this one. Nirmalya Biswas, I know, has been quizzing quite a bit online as part of some very successful team quizzes. I think OQL or one of those. And good to have him here as well. So should be a good match coming up.
Edwin joins us for the third season in a row. Wish you the best, Edwin. You can only go one direction. And Raktim joins us for the first time. He's from Kolkata. Good to see you, Raktim. Good quizzer. Just out of the scene, I think, for a little bit, but good to have you back. Match 72. Vivek Tejuja, Gaurav Parab, Vidya K, and Sachin Deshpande. Vidya, she's late entrant for season 2. So thank you, Vidya, for joining. Just talking to you on Facebook, I saw that we don't have any mutual friends. That means it's a surprising element to see someone with no sort of physical connection to take part in the league, which is just what you want to see. So welcome to the competition again. Gaurav Parab, excellent in biz for many years, and good to see him dabble in Gen quizzing as well for the third season in a row. Vivek Tejuja joins us for the first time, and I know he's an accomplished writer. He comes in BQC quizzes in Bombay Quiz Club, doesn't quiz a lot otherwise outside Bombay, but this is maybe the start of a beautiful friendship with FLQL and quizzing all around India. So Rahul, Sachin Deshpande, very good overall quizzer. So what can we expect from him this season, and how can we define his FLQL journey so far?
So Sachin has had a fairly quiet season 1 as well, but I think he really came into his own in the second season. Although he did finish in the top tier in the first season, I think he had a lot of second places or something of that sort, but he kind of got his act a little more in the second season, and he scored 150 odd points. Strong in almost every topic except probably entertainment. I think he had a few misses last season, but one more top tier performance is to be expected.
Match 73, we have Vivek Karthikeyan, big art enthusiast known as Kiwi, dabbles in content all the time with his professional commitment, so can beat anyone on his day. Ashwin CV, welcome to the competition. Aryan Patel, second season in a row, young person, so welcome and best of luck. And Samant, we all know Samant, he's a very strong quizzer. No real weakness, he reads a lot, part of his profession, good writer, so he has very diverse knowledge. You don't know what he can pull out of his hat on any day, and best of luck to Samant. I'm sure he'll have a competition between his sort of QED buddies to see who does best in this league. Match 74, Rumaiza Fatima, Sanya Narulkar, Dan Feitel, and Riddhi Puntambelkar. So 3 women taking part in this quiz. Always love to see. Rumaiza joins us for the first time. Welcome, Rumaiza. Best of luck. Sanya, I think DG last year said, I'll just echo his sentiment, one of the most underrated quizzers in India right now is what DG described her as. And I'm sure Sanya is going to do extremely well in this competition. Welcome, Sanya. Riddhi, casual quizzer, mostly pub quizzer, but it was very good to see her sign up for season 2. She had a good time in season 2. I'm very glad to see you in season 3. Dan Feitel, Abhinav, since he just lost Sander for a bit, he comes in with some good quizzical experience, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's right. It'll be good to see how he does. I think fairly accomplished quizzer, and this should be a good match. I think with Sania and Riddhi part of the ranks, Rumeza as well. Quite looking forward to this.
Let's move to match 75. We're wrapping up now. Match 75, Mohit Kumar, Arnold D'Souza, Siddhartha Sinare, and Santosh Swaminathan. Siddhartha, long-time quizzer, maybe not been quizzing a lot over the last 5-7 years maybe, but he is into quizzing. So welcome back for a second season in a row. Arnold, he doesn't like to be called highbrow quizzer or lowbrow quizzer, but I know that he does enjoy cricket, and he's a good general quizzer as well. So good luck, Arnold. Mohit Kumar, first-time joinee. Thanks to a little bit of influencers on Twitter sharing FLQL, Mohit has joined us, so welcome. And Santosh Swaminathan, I mean, nothing much to say except that he's very, very strong in a lot of subjects like food, pop culture, comics, films, music, and so many other things like that. So it's going to be a good game. Santosh probably the deserved seed as well. Match 76, Anshuman Agarwal, Samrat Sengupta, Sean Webb, and Rajan Thambehalli. Rajan is from Bangalore. He used to be Tejasvi Udupa's neighbor. So we know now how Tejasvi got his quizzing knowledge from Rajan, who is his neighbor. Samrat Sengupta is from Mumbai, known to be very good in sports, but he can surprise you in all other aspects as well. Joined us in season 2, and I think I had never met him, but I think he's one of the most positive quizzers I've met. With a smile on his face, just the kind of attitude you need more in quizzing in India, to be honest. Anshuman, welcome back to the season. And Rahul, I'll throw it back to you for Sean. Very young, prodigious, and yet has the chance to take the FLQL crown. He was very close last season. He was a finalist in the grand final.
Very close. In fact, very widely improved from the first season where he finished in, I think he finished the winner of tier 3 or 4. And then from there to jump in one season, I think that already shows a keenness to, do well in a league like the FLQL. And yeah, very, very close last season. And with a little bit of luck, he could be a winner this time.
Yeah, he can blow away any opponent in world quizzing right now, I think, in an FLQL form, in a Mimir format. Match 77, Sahil Sharma, Tanveer Ali, Shashwat Salgaonkar, and Roderick Cromer. I'll just let DG do a bit of research on Roderick while I fill you guys in on Shashwat. Very good at crossword solving, which means that he can work out questions really well. If we do some Tera Mera question, Shashwat's most likely to probably unscramble it and get it right. So probably the deserved seed here. Tanveer joins us the 3rd season in a row. I think he would not be too happy with his performances in terms of tiers, but there's only one way to go up, Tanveer. So best of luck. Sahil's from Australia, very good in sports, Bollywood, and so on. Yes, Abhinav, anything about Roderick? Probably
yes.
not.
So yeah. So Roderick, sorry, I lost you for a bit. So Roderick's part of the Quiz League of London and part of the British Grand Prix circuit. So this should be a good contest with Shashwat having improved the way he has, and Roderick bringing in a lot of experience from the UK. This promises to be an exciting contest. Don't forget Sahil on sports.
Yep. Match 78, Madhur, TK, Ayush Sharma, Shri Patwardhan, and Mukund Marodia. Madhur runs an excellent WhatsApp quiz group, excellent questions all the time, so he's very much up to date with current affairs. Ayush Sharma, don't know much about him, but blow us away, Ayush. I mean, we want to know more about you for season 4, and I'm sure your quizzing will do the talking. Mukund Marodia, we are teammates, rivals through my college days. I know that my India used to be a bit weak in my college days, so I thought, let me team up with Mukund because he's going to definitely cover all my India weakness in team quizzes. So that's the sort of caliber which Mukund brings to the table in terms of India knowledge and a wide variety of quizzing knowledge. Welcome back. And Shri Patwardhan comes from Singapore, and I think he surprised a few people by doing very well and even picking up a seeded position. Rahul, anything about Shri?
Excellent lifestyle quizzer, at least based on FLQL season 2 numbers. But other than that, fairly consistent second preference topics, I would say. Everything else comes second, but lifestyle for some reason is phenomenal, and overall quite a promising emphasis.
Match 79, Srirang Reddy, Akul Gurtu, Ayush Patni, and Inakshi Kar. Inakshi joins us the first time. Welcome. Ayush is playing a second season in a row. I'm sure he'll be looking for bigger improvements. He's quite a motivated quizzer. Akul Gurtu, extremely strong in history. He's extremely strong in art as well. In his college circuit, he was head and shoulders above other quizzers when it came to history. And one of his standout moments was in an Arjun quiz with a lot of great quizzes in the final and them not getting any answer right. Akul was raising his hand and getting all of them right. So that's Akul for you. Sriram joins us for the first time in the season and in FLQL. I don't know if Hari or Rahul know much about Sriram, but he's a seed, and it's not easy, as I was saying, being a seeded player coming into brand new season and being so. And it's a lot based on his Mahaqvizzer ranking. So Abhinav, do you want to tell us a bit about him for those who don't know?
Yeah, Sriram Reddy is from Pune. Phenomenal quizzer, years and years of experience. And just earlier today that we saw him on Infestuous, Pune's mastermind style solo quiz. And he came in he had chosen one topic, and I think the organizers kind of gave him something else which he didn't know or something to that effect. And he still ended up acing it without any prep. So that's the kind of thing he brings. I mean, his range of knowledge is just so wide that you just can't write him off. So
Rahul, you must have spent a bit of time, since you were in Bombay for a while. What can we expect from someone like Sriram in this competition?
I actually came across Sriram in a quiz a while back. I think it was the Pune Memorial that they have every year over there. I think he pretty much, along with his teammate, pretty much creamed the competition there. I forget the name, but yeah, that's my one experience in that regard. And yeah, he's an excellent quizzer.
Match number 80, Snehanshu Gupta, G. Vinod, Arafat Haris, and Siddhant Agarwal. Snehanshu, welcome. Arafat, welcome as well. G. Vinod took part last season. Some great answers when I saw him quiz. I think he's a bit rusty, if that's the right word. It seemed like he knows a lot, but I think he's not been quizzing too much. Hari, would you know G. Vinod by any chance? He's in the US, maybe. Never mind. Siddhant is an economic student or economist maybe from Chicago, from Kolkata, a very well-rounded quizzer. And Siddhant's a young seeded player. Again, not easy to be that, remember. Such great competition. So this game can go anyway. Match 81, Somashish Ghosh, Abdul Rauf, Amit Mishra, and Shyam Shreyas. Hari, do you know Rauf by any chance? I know he's from Kerala, but do you know much about him?
No, I've run across him, but yeah, I don't know much about
he sits with CIDs of Kerala, at least during the COVID time, during lockdown. So, of course, to be part of that good team, you need to have some credentials for sure. So he's very good. Amit Mishra, who joins the third season in a row. Shyam's a first-time player. And Somashish is very good in mythology, arts, what people have to call highbrow stuff, from Kolkata. Now maybe he's somewhere else, but Somashish can beat anyone on his day. Match 82, Kartikeya Chadda, Tushant Srivastav, Rahul Jayanti, and Shobhadra Chakraborty. Rahul, one of the business quizzing greats of India, and he's taken to general quizzing like a fish to water, if I can call it. Rahul's been very motivated to do well, and his general quizzing journey has again taken off thanks to FLQL. Tushan he said that he's never taken part in a quiz, but he loves watching quizzes on television and YouTube. So it'll be very interesting to see how Tushan's journey is, to be honest. I hope the quizzing bug stays with him for years and years. Kartikeya, very young, very good in pop culture stuff from Delhi. And Abhinav, I'll throw it over to you for Shobhadra, who's playing for the first time. And as I told you so many times, it's not easy. I mean, you have to come with some reputation to be a seeded player in your first season in itself.
Yeah, and Shobhadra is a doctor, like a few others we've named, and hence COVID and everything else was keeping him busy. I'm sure it'll still keep him busy given where we are. But wonderful to have him here. He is an exceptionally good quizzer, particularly when it comes to history, entertainment, movies, for instance, also a lot of lifestyle-related subjects. So wonderful to have Shobhadra here. I think he's a deserving seat first time around itself.
Next question. Sorry, not next question. Next game. Game 83. Rishabh Diwan, Paul Pop, Yutish Prabhakar, R. and Shodro Sengupta. Rishabh, I know he's in academics. He promotes academics. I think he teaches. Rishabh does a lot of academic related studying or propagation. So he'll know those sort of topics. Paul Pop joins after a 1 year break. Welcome, Paul. Yutish, we don't know much about you. For sure, Joe. Rahul, I'll throw it over to you. Very interesting player. I think I saw him answer some very difficult questions and miss some not so very difficult questions, but yet he's a seed. So what can we expect from him?
Very strong in entertainment, as well as media, the two pop culture related topics. So, yeah, I expect him to pretty much ace 25% of the questions, and the rest also is pretty good. So, justified seed, I would say.
Match 84, Yogesa Metla, Srirath Potera, Satish Thiruvenkataswamy and Jatin Sangvi. Satish and Jatin are very casual quizzers, so good to see you return for third season in a row. Yogesa has college quizzing in Bangalore, experience from there. And Srirath is our seed, a very late seed, probably on the back of his excellent season 2 performance. I don't remember his exact ranking, but I think Srirath has rode that wave to be the seed here, which again is not easy. So best of luck to everyone. Match 85, Vrinda Basu, Mihir Jayaraman, Srinath Bhattacharya, and Ananya Bhaskar. Ananya from Hyderabad, extremely underrated quiz, I will say. She gives some great answers, and she'll always leave you surprised with the answers she gives you. Mihir, I think, is joining us for the first time, so welcome, Mihir. Vrinda took a break in season 2. She's one of our youngest participants, by the way. So welcome, Vrinda. I wish you all the best. Hari, a little bit about Srinath, maybe. I'm sure you know him from the quizzing.
Yeah, he's very one of India's top quizzes, and clear. I think tier 1 at worst, maybe tier 2.
Yeah, for sure. Match number 86, Abhimanyu Bharade, Harshit Sahai, Tejasvi Udupa and Prithvi Raj. Prithvi is playing for the first time. Welcome Prithvi to the competition. I hope this is the Prithvi from Delhi who I know for many years, but if not, welcome to the other Prithvi as well. As I'm not giving too much about this person might get the bio completely wrong. But welcome Prithvi. Harshit Sahai, welcome Harshit once again from Bombay, now in US. Good in certain stuff. Bharade, I think, is from the Harshit mold as well. They can maybe cancel each other out in terms of what they know, what they don't know. Good luck to both of you. Tejasvi Udupa, Hari, what can we expect from Tejasvi?
Oh, again, one of India's top quizzes, and I clearly see tier 1. I mean, there's hardly any topic I think in which he's weak, so should have a good showing.
I think Rahul, Tejasvi's been a little far off the tier 1 radar though, right? Despite he's a very good individual quizzer. He's won a lot of written championships. So what's happening here?
So yeah, you're right. He has in fact been someone who you can expect to be in the first few years, but for some reason he's not covered as many points as he would have liked in most of the categories, except maybe lifestyle. Lifestyle is the one place where he's done well in FL quiz statistically. So yeah, lots of potential there. 7 more categories in which he can really make up, and we know he's really good. Like Hari said, he's one of the best in India, best there is.
Last 10 matches, match 87, Sohaib Naseem, Animesh Jha, Tim Poli and Kapinjal Kishore Sharma. Kapinjal is in the administrative services, busy man. So welcome Kapinjal for the 3rd season in a row. Sohaib also joins for the 3rd season. Doesn't quiz as much as someone like Kapinjal, but it's good to see you in here. Animesh Jha, first timer. Welcome Animesh, best of luck. And Abhinav, I want you to tell me a little bit about Tim Poli. I think he's an extremely good quizzer. I think he's very high in WQC rankings. He probably takes part in the best teams in the world, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. Very high WQC ranking. Can't recall though, but I think deserving seed over here. But it'll be interesting to see how Kapinjal matches up, because Kapinjal's been exceptionally good in terms of his rise to the top, right? Like we largely cocooned him as a business quizzer earlier.
That's a different Kapinjal. That's a different Kapinjal. That's a different Kapinjal.
That's a different guy, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. This is
Sharma, sorry. Yeah, there you go.
No worries. I think Tim is a deserved.
So Tim, yeah.
I think he's a tier 1. He's of the Brandon Blackwell level of quizzing thing. So watch out for him. The one of the underdogs for one of the great for the championship, I would say. Match 88. Abhinav Dasgupta, Tor Dal, Valentin Bibikov, and Omkar Kamalapur. Very interesting. 4 people from 4 different countries. Valentin is from Russia, played season 2, got hooked onto online quizzing thanks to Asian Quiz League, and he's joined us now. Abhinav Dasgupta, welcome back. Took a break last season. Very good quizzer as well, young guy. Omkar Kamalapur adds another country to our map, which is Ghana. So welcome, Omkar. Done great service to quizzing in his college days by running a very useful little database sharing thing, which we all gained from over the years. I know Tod Dal is a very excellent WQC scorer and so on. Is there anything we know about him, Abhinav, by any chance?
Yeah, also another of those great ambassadors for the game. Tod Dal largely used to run the Norwegian Open for many, many years. He's one of those founding fathers of quizzing as a sport in Norway. And I think the Norwegian Open, even in India, is something we've all played and enjoyed for a very, very long time. So wonderful to see Tor over here in FLQL, and I'm sure he'll be exceptionally well.
Thanks, Tor, for joining us. Much appreciated. 89. Peter Sells, Daniel Fullard, Atul V. Nath, and Udatta Dwara. Hari, a little bit about your seed, Udatta. I'm sure you know a little bit about it.
Oh, yeah, Udatta was Delhi quizzer from days of yore, moved to Australia. All-round fun guy. Again, I'd say more towards the mid-tiers, but yeah, overall, good quizzer.
When the Asian Quiz League happened in offline edition, where it was called the Asian Pacific Quiz League, I think his team Australia A or Australia B won the tournament. So cannot take him lightly at all.
Yep.
So that can surprise you because he has those years of experience, I guess. I mean, he's faced a lot of questions. Atul Nath, welcome to the competition. Daniel Fullard on Twitter, he's the quiz addict. So that's all you need to know about him to know how much of quiz he likes. And Peter Sells, for Indian audiences, you might see him on the Indian quizzing group called Quizzers. Someone from abroad, I think America or the UK, posting a lot of interesting questions, and that's Peter Sells. So thanks for joining, Peter, and thanks, Arjun, for bringing Peter over to the competition. Match 90, Swapnil Bukade, Deepthi Kulkarni, Akshay Sharma, and Ujjwal Deb. Akshay, welcome to the competition. Deepthi took a 1-year break, a 1-season break, so she's back for season 3 for more quizzing. Swapnil joins us for the first time, I think. And Ujjwal Deb is one of... He can win any game on his day. One of the best Indian origin quizzers currently in Europe. Very high scores in WQC, whatever event he takes part. Rahul, what can we expect from Ujjwal this season?
Very high scores, very consistent scores. In fact, I think he had a 140 plus haul last season. So high scores plus consistent. I think he can repeat his season performance last season. Where I think he finished in the top few tiers.
Yeah, I think he's very strong at stuff which Indians are basically a little weak at, like classical music and some types of art, some type of sculpture, because of his sort of WQC style learning on quizzing. Match 91, we're wrapping up. So if your name hasn't come yet, it's just Murphy's Law that it hasn't come yet, and you're still watching this quiz right now, this video. Match 91, Carlo Ayo, Karina Chawla, Varun Rajiv, and Jim Mudrak. Jim joins from the US, and he takes part in a lot of quizzes online. Good to see you back, Jim, for a second time. You can't pigeonhole him into any one category. Good general quizzer. Carlo went to the Quiz Olympiad this season, and he, I think, won the silver medal in the under 30 championship. So that tells you a lot about Carlo, what you need to know. Karina, welcome to the competition, first time player. And Varun Rajiv, Hari's long time buddy, so we'll let Hari take over for Varun Rajiv.
Varun, yeah, always a fun guy, great quizzer. I think really good at movies and music and those kind of things. So should be
I think he's a good general quizzer. I mean,
oh yeah, that's true.
Because in FLQL, you cannot be good in just one or two topics and be in a tier 1 or 2.
Let me put it, especially good in those topics.
Yeah. Rahul, what can we expect from Varun this time?
I think I agree with Hari on this one. There's no question that he's one of the best movie and entertainment quizzes in the country. And I think in entertainment, he was ranked way up there last season. He had something like 26 points, which is one of the highest. So expecting more of the same, but also, like I said, with some of the categories, there's a lot of answers that he can give, and he does give a lot of fantastic answers there as well.
It's an unknown factor about Carlo and Jim, so it'll be an interesting game to see whether Varun can stave off the competition and take the win with seeding, actually. Match 92, Venkatesh Srinivasan, Aditya Narayan, Abhishek Hariharan, Abhinav Kishore. Abhishek's been quizzing through the lockdown, both seasons. Welcome, Abhishek. Used to read a lot of games for us in season 1 as well, got a bit busy in season 2. So good to see Abhishek. Let's see how well you do this season. Aditya Narayan, late joining into the competition. He has some roots in Kolkata. He's very much into sports, follows sports a lot. So I hope we will be keenly watching out for Aditya's journey. Abhinav, Kishore, Hari, we all know him, but I think since we all spent a bit of time in Delhi, all four of us, but you want to tell us a little bit about Abhinav and what his strengths are?
I think from what I remember, he was good at things like sports and all that stuff. Those days he was, I'd say, mid-level quizzer, and he kind of dropped out of quizzing, but I think he's taken it back he started back with a vengeance ever since he moved to Germany.
Somewhere in Europe, but I think science is his strength, history is his strength, like classics, I think stuff like that is what he might be really good at. Rahul, what can we expect from our seeded player, Venkatesh Srinivasan? He's won a lot of quizzes all around India. He's won Landmark and so on. So what's sort of plaguing him in this competition? He definitely has the potential to do really great things, right, in this competition.
Yeah, I think so far he's not performed as well as I would have liked in FLQL itself, but good to see him being the seed. I think he's a great quizzer, nice guy, and great ambassador also. I think he's done a lot for quizzing outside of just being a quizzer. So good to see him do well, and hope to see him, get further high. Higher up in the tiers.
Yep. Best of luck to all players. I don't know how to call this game. We'll just have to watch and find out. Match 93, Daniel Aribas Hedo, Venkat Raghavan Sahasranaman, Srijit Kumar and Srikanth Reddy. Srijit, I think joining us second time, but don't know much about Srijit yet. Hope to find out more. Hari, a short word on Srikanth?
Oh, Srikanth again, yeah. Delhi quizzer, fairly good. And I've noticed that, yes, some days he does really well and some days not so well. So he needs to, I think, brush up on some of the areas of weakness, which I guess Rahul can talk about.
Yeah, Venkat Raghavan Sahasranaman, great ambassador for quizzing, great person to be around physically, very good in sports, very good in a lot of variety of stuff you can't really say, very good in India also, I think. He's been quizzing for a long time, took a break in the middle for many years and returned with a bang in quizzing in the 2010. So good to see Venkat Raghavan carry on. Daniel, I think I've seen him on Facebook groups a lot, asking a lot of good, tough questions. Is there anything we know, Abhinav, that we can tell our viewers about?
Yeah, he's been a very successful player in the University Challenge, on Quiz Bowl and Mimr as well. So lots of experience behind him. In fact, on Quiz Bowl, he's played both the in-person events at Cambridge and Oxford, as well as the QB League. So should be a tough contender out here for Venkat.
Match 94, Zuben Tashildar, Vincenzo Tagle, Jaidev Karnakar, and Anand Shivshankar. Anand is very experienced quizzer, very good in sports and a wide variety of topics. Good to see him back. Jaidev, welcome back. He didn't take a break. I think he was not turning up, but I think Omicron has opened up a spot in his life and he's back quizzing. So Jaidev did very well in season 1, by the way. He was right up there in the top few tiers, but then season 2 wasn't as good. Zuben, it's quite a casual quizzer who returns for season 3, and Vincenzo is probably one of the better quizzers out of Southeast Asia, isn't he? Southeast Asia.
That's right. Yeah. In fact, we've had a chance to play against him in a couple of the leagues, and yeah, he's a very strong competitor. Pretty strong in history, science, and entertainment. So let's see how he goes.
Yeah. And he quizzes a lot online, so he's all right, always with questions. Saransh Mohapatra, Varun Parthasarathi, Nandakrishna S, and Vinod Krishnan. Nandakrishna S joins for the first time. Welcome. Saransh is very strong, very consistent. Saransh, he'll surprise you on his day. You can't take him lightly in your game. Varun Parthasarathi, more into sports, but he's into quizzing, which is most important. So welcome Varun back. And Vinod Krishnan, we have a couple of Vinods. So this is Vinod Sivaramakrishnan out of Delhi. Very experienced quizzer. I think he started off quizzing in Bangalore first, then moved to Delhi, and one of the stalwarts of quizzing in Delhi actually for many years. Very humble gentleman because he's very good in quizzing. So welcome Vinod, and probably a deserved seed as well. Good luck for the game. Match 96. Shubhendu Saha, Sukanya Bhattacharya, Sapan Mehta, and Vinu Sanjay. Everybody knows who Vinu Sanjay is. Probably India's best or second best quizzer. A couple of people maybe in contention for the thing, but definitely up there as one of the best in India. 2-time finalist of FLQL. Maybe this is the third time lucky when he finally wins it. We'll see how his journey is. Sukanya joins us from Kolkata. Welcome, Sukanya, youngish quizzer. Hope you do well. Shubhendu Saha, very experienced from Delhi. Arjo has seen him closely in quizzing more than I have or the rest have. Welcome, Shubhendu, again. He wouldn't quiz a lot for many years, but he's now back in the online sphere, which is lovely to see. And Sapan, don't know much about him, but I know he started off for the first time. So that's that. And we come to the last match of the league, match 97. Nick, Ron, Sarthak, if you waited this long, now is your time and glory and the spotlight. Nick Reed, I think, comes from the US, if I'm not mistaken. He has a lot of years of quizzical experience. So he'll be a sort of a silent assassin in this game, I think. Ron Tranquilo, Abhinav, would you know about him? I think he's done a lot of great service to quizzing in Asia, hasn't he?
That's right. From the Philippines, played Ron Ronquillo a couple of seasons at the Asian Quiz League. He captains a team called NASA Quiz, who've been exceptionally good. I think we had some really good matches with them, and wonderful guy to kind of speak to as well. Interacted quite a bit with him in the online space, and wonderful to have him here.
Match and last is Sarthak Sachdeva, ekdam last entrant, which is why we don't know much about Sarthak, but we hope that your quizzes show it. And it says empty seat, which is probably going to be the first waitlist person who we are waiting for to confirm. Once that person comes in, that person will take this game as well. So that's all the games for you. Match 97 games done. It's taken a while, but we finally got there. And we hope you guys know who to support, who to root for, who to sort of track, who to look up to, who to talk to next time you see. So I hope you guys enjoyed this sort of session. Before we go, a quick question for Abhinav and Rahul. Abhinav, from among the new players, who are you most excited? Whose journey are you most excited to to check?
Tough question, but several of the players that I know. So Ron is definitely one. Shaubhadra Chakraborty is one, again, first time of this season. Will be very excited to see him. Yeah, I think several others actually who joining us for the first time should be very exciting.
Rahul, what about you?
So Shrestha, I see a lot of non-Indian players taking part for the first time, and I'm excited to see how they will sort of adapt to the style of quizzing and the slight India quotient that we're going to have. I think it's going to be very exciting. It's going to be great fun. Some of them I'm sure will do very well. We've had a lot of good performances from players who are not from India earlier. So it'll be very exciting to see what's going to happen with these new players.
Thanks a lot for your thoughts. And over the last 2 hours, a few of our panelists dropped out for the commitments. So we thank Vikas, Hari, and Sander for joining us, and Abhinav and Rahul, especially both of you, for giving me company for the last 2 hours. We wish everyone a lovely FLQL Season 3. And on Monday morning, Indian time tomorrow, all of you will have an email in your inboxes, which will tell you exactly how to schedule your games and so on and so forth. So let the games begin. Good luck to everyone for Season 3, and may the best player win. Thank you, everyone. My name is Sreshth on the behalf of Rahul, Abhinav, Arjo, Nitish, Hari, Vikas, Sander, Ananya, Rishin, Amrit, and I don't think I missed anyone else. Thank you once again, and hope you enjoy Season 3. Take care.